And there's new
Okay.
digital activity that is discovered. 9:04 a.m. We heard a new voicemail left by Dan. Hey, Wendy, it's Danny. Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Friday. Dan was murdered on a Friday. It's the last time we hear from him. Just want to let you know I was hoping to pick the boys up early this afternoon and take them swimming, and then have them ready for you at around 4:30 or 5. If you can pick them up for me or at the house, let me know if that is okay with you. And also, I'd love to chat with you about Ben's situation for school, one of the children, and birthday stuff and all that. I'm gonna be at the gym probably between 9:15 and 10:30, but I'm happy to chat or meet with you. Maybe we can go for a walk or something like that. Let me know. Okay, bye. So the morning of, Dan leaves Wendy a detailed voice message of where he's going to be that morning. And we know he was at the gym after dropping the kids off before getting home. And that's when he is shot in the head twice, once between the eyes.
Because I love wheat thins.
A short time after that, at 9:12 in the morning, the morning of the murders, there's a text from Wendy. And she says, repairman at my house right now. I'm picking up the boys. The Geek Squad was there to fix a flat screen TV. Jeff Lacasse, when he testified, said, there's no way a little kid who threw a shoe at a TV broke a flat screen. From what he saw, it was like spider web cracked. It's hard to break a TV to begin with. Jeff Lacasse talks about the suspiciousness of it. But suddenly, Wendy's got this alibi about these Geek Squad guys at her house. So she says, I'm picking up the boys at 3 p.m., so your swim idea, you want to take the kids swimming, is a no-go today. 9:12, the same minute.
Not only did he say it's okay for her to pick him up.
Wendy for 29 seconds. Charlie and Wendy didn't talk that often. Why are they talking the morning of the murders? 1 minute later, Dan to Wendy, my day ends at 4:30 under our schedule, and you had them until 5 last week. That's what goes on in a divorced household. But 2 minutes later, Wendy now to Dan, because you needed to food shop. That's why the time was adjusted. In the same minute, Dan responds to Wendy.
Don't have babies with somebody who you...
them available until 5.
Not
so there's a little bit of a back and forth argument.
Over the
3 minutes later,
you had
Wendy
him
to
for
Dan.
2 extra minutes last time.
If it was 4:30 last Friday, you should have told me that. Why tell me now? She's arguing. 9:19 at the same minute, the same time, when she's done with Dan, Wendy calls Charlie for 18 minutes and 17 seconds and claimed the conversation was about fixing the TV. You think any of the jurors are buying that? I'm sitting in the courtroom and I can tell you they are not.
Let me show some of the stuff that I will be having.
Who has ever had a conversation about fixing a flat screen TV that you could probably buy for $239 now?
Pardon me for chewing.
Back then, maybe $600.
While I'm on this
who's having a conversation for 18 minutes?
But I really
now, if
love
it was going to happen with anybody, it might be Charlie, because the guy can't
stop
talking.
Here's some of the stuff I'll be having.
Where they may be talking about something else, considering just a short time later, Dan Martell would literally be on death's door and then succumb to his injuries the following day.
These are the new flip-flops.
Again, she claimed the call was about fixing the TV.
I have an idea.
But
because I want to make matching sets.
Video, according
and I've been getting into sewing, which I made my own two-piece sari outfit. I will be making
known as Premier
denim.
And while Wendy and Charlie are talking
matching
about
sets like
this
denim
TV,
jeans and shorts,
Dan texts Wendy
with crochet
about
on them,
the pickup situation
as well as a
saying,
crochet
was because I was being nice.
But I haven't gotten into my top makings yet. But I'm thinking more like corsetti. So just imagine high-waisted, bell-bottom shorts and jeans.
Adelson. Nice
and low-waisted too, because since I have my back dimples pierced, I definitely need to show that.
Nice.
So that
she texts back the
and I'm
same
gonna have it
morning
crocheted. It's gonna be matching, and there's gonna be matching sandals, and there's gonna be matching hair ties. So yeah, so there's these ones, which I'm really happy about.
Today at my house. Then nice was fun. while it lasted, almost like she knew
Then
all
I
of
have
this fun, potential
these
fun was about
ones.
to end. Dan was shot shortly before 11 a.m. So it was about an hour and 20 minutes.
They're so cute. I'm really happy with them. And this is how they basically like look, because I made my own pair. I have to, every time I make something that I'm gonna sell, I have to make sure that I would wear it. And I would be satisfied with it. So look at my little sandals. These are, I've been wearing them for a long time now because I've made them, so don't judge.
Entry at 8 a.m.
This is how they are.
When they showed them that, jurors leaned
and the thing that
forward
I noticed is that this brand of sandals that I have, I like so much better than these brands.
The state of Florida versus Donna
because when you wear them a little bit, when I was wearing the other kind, I noticed that my toe in the between part, like right here,
bits of very important evidence against Wendy, while
like right here,
simultaneously
would hurt. So I don't want to use the same kind of sandal anymore. I'm definitely gonna get the same kind that I have on this one, because these ones are perfect. And I even added a little bottom on them right here like this, so that they can what's it called? And if my little feet is dirty, why? Because I be walking out. I'm like, I wake up at 5 a.m.
the morning he's shot.
I hang out with myself for like 16 plus hours. I meditate. I go and I walk next to the river, next to the waterfalls. I just have the time of my life. So definitely,
she never calls to check.
I'm always doing something. Always doing something for myself. And then here's these ones. I love these ones. I love these ones.
Even if you're having a bitter divorce, you know that your ex-husband is with
these
your
ones are
kids.
so cute. These ones are so cute. I'm really happy how they came out. And the back is a little bit more strong compared to the other backs that I have.
You're not going to try
for the other shoes, because I wanted a strong back and I wanted them to be like pom pom. So yeah, we've got these shoes. So we've got 3 pairs of shoes that we're gonna have for the event.
And there is a police officer that testified to the fact.
The event is on the 21st, and I'm trying to make. I have a whole entire
that something was wrong, and maybe she knew
planner. It's filled up already. Hi, hello everybody. Thank you for the people who's come in. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hopefully you'll be able to not be so bored and watch as much as you'd like. But I do understand that what I do is not, the most exciting thing in the world. So I'll just be doing me. And I appreciate you while you're here. So I have my calendar, my planner, and in my planner, and also I'm gonna start doing capoeira on Sundays. Capoeira. I gotta get my body all lined up, So I have that, but I have something that I would like to do. The event is in September. It's September 1st today, and my goal is to do. I would like to do 10 beanies. I would like to complete 10 beanies, 2 hoods. I already have my tie-dye outfits that's gonna be on at the event there, and I think I have 10 of them. So I got that, and so that's my goal. For
Wendy was very
like by the 15th, 17th, I would like to have all of those things done. And I can do that because I just gotta focus really hard. And also, I'm reading a couple books, which I would like to finish. I'm reading this book right here.
Dan Markel was murdered.
The Well-Educated Mind, which was recommended to me. You can go to your local library and actually just go get this book. And if they don't have it, ask for them to figure it out because you need it. But I am. This is how far I am in the book, and I like to take it by chapter because at the end of the day, I like to soak in the information, and I like to don't touch the book for like a day or 2, and then really think about what I read, and then come back and read again because it's my favorite thing to do. But I would like to finish this book by the 9th, and I have 8 more days to do that. And today, before I go to bed, because I do go to bed early. I wake up at 5, so I got to go to bed early. I would like to read another chapter of this, and it's another chapter is probably like.
And then this time around, something interesting happened.
7.5, 8 pages.
He sort of mentioned
maybe 10, maybe 12. Who knows? Around that area. I don't think it's 20 pages.
The Katie McBanowood trial, but here.
So we've got that.
Luis Rivera is the only one that.
We got the book I gotta finish by the 9th. Because I have another book that I would love to finish too, so I have to take my time.
He said that they didn't kill. This was his testimony this time.
It's a great thing that I've been learning patience
the first time
because
they caravanned up to Tallahassee because they didn't want to kill him.
I wasn't a patient person. I'm like, I want it now, and I want it now. But now I've learned who common collective. I gotta be the turtle, not the hare.
I was helping a lady named Wendy get her kids back. He specifically.
I also have waist beads.
The Craig Isom contradiction. Wendy testified she only
that
learned about Dan shooting once inside police car.
So let me see. We've got this one. Oh, I have some waist beads on right now too.
A look of shock. So did you really tell her in the car?
And they're the stretchy kind.
Or did you tell her in the
so you don't have to worry about bending over and eating a lot of food and being like, pop.
And was feigning.
We got that. But I have this one. And everything that I make is made out of my own personal love. So at the end of the day, if it doesn't fancy you, I don't care. You don't have to buy it. I don't care. You go to Walmart and spend all your money on crap plastic, you know. I spend my time and energy putting a lot of love in what I make so that whenever you're wearing it, that you feel all that love, because I have a lot of love in my heart.
It was almost like when Wendy called her, she was letting her know.
And I love this one because I love the little wings.
Was that Dan actually hadn't died.
Symbolizes wings, like the angel. Everyone's an angel. So we got this one. And look. Wow.
I think she was calling it, and this is my opinion. And everyone here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But it is my opinion.
We also have this one, which is more green, which I really love.
In that moment, at the police department, she was panicked. Because the job wasn't completed. Dan was shot, but he didn't die. And Wendy didn't really know the state of condition that
then
he was
we got
in.
this
and so
one.
Wendy calls Donna. And Donna,
I really like this one. This is a lot of purple.
Let her know
I don't know. I'm in a purple and orange phase.
But nevertheless,
because my beanie that I'm going to be crocheting right now is going to be orange.
As concerned in-laws from South Florida. But
so I have
they
that.
stopped.
And then I love this one too because this one has
and
little
there's 1 hour
daisies in
and
it.
6 minutes to find out that are unaccounted for.
So I'm really happy.
What's going on there?
And then I will also have my chia seed earrings.
For a murder for hire plot. What happened in those 1 hour and 6 minutes?
Hey, keep your dogs away from me, bro.
Cell tower data.
These are my little chia seed earrings, and they have chia seeds in them.
Between quote unquote.
And so my point is, these are like my growth earrings. So what I would like for it to be like, once you have these earrings, you can just drop little sprinkles of water in there, and guess what? They're gonna grow because chia seeds. Chia seeds just need water to grow, and I have 3 pairs of them. So I have this one.
I wouldn't say it's a flood of
They're all the same,
but I would say it's a steady
drip like to show them.
Evidence.
I've got this one.
Wendy Adelson, from cable cancellations to custody schedule manipulation, from a suspicious text that was deleted that said "so sweet" to her brother the morning of the murders, to an 18-minute call the morning of the murders while hitmen
man, you know I
Dan
love wind chimes. I'm gonna start doing wind chimes with copper.
Bit by bit.
Because if you know anything about copper, it's really great.
But it is a
not only for grounding, but it's great for, well, I mean, copper is used for grounding. If you have a garden, put a rod of copper in there and watch your things grow.
All the lawyers that I've
I want to start
making
wind chimes, and I can definitely see myself like making these, you know what I mean? Oh, and they also have the evil eye.
Ever being charged with this crime.
I love them.
All now.
Ward off as much evil energy as you can, because
an arrest is imminent.
People be
I'm Wendy Adelson.
People be doing crazy things.
Concerned, and
they
be
wishing crazy things upon other people, which is bogus.
This time
I got those. And now I'm going to show you my prayer caps, because I have these prayer caps that I made, and I am in love with them because they speak from my soul.
Like who's been caught in a bunch of lies. Now she has immunity, but it's not blanket immunity. And trust me, George Kappelman, Sarah Catherine Dugan, and the state attorney Jack Campbell, they're very smart.
This bikini
they're seeing
bottom.
these contradictions in real time. We're all
I will just be presenting it
so I've
at
got
the
a question for you,
events and stuff, and then if people want to buy it, yes. But my goal for my bikinis are that they will be on my website more, and they
dyke
will have
Wendy
matching
Adelson,
tops and
or
stuff.
is
I
it
just haven't
still
made them because my
just
tops, I'm planning
sort
on
of
doing
bits and
two kinds
pieces
of
of
tops:
circumstantial
elegant
evidence?
tops
Do me a
as well
favor,
as
drop
scandalous
your thoughts in the
tops.
comments. I'll read them
Scandalous.
live on the show.
So we got that.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
We
Thank you for being
also,
here.
now
This
it is
episode all about
the
the potential
beanie
for
times, the
Wendy
prayer
Adelson to
caps.
be
These
the
are prayer
next
caps,
one
not beanies.
arrested.
Sorry.
Will it happen?
I got a pink
Let
one.
me
And the
know.
cool thing about the prayer caps is
Love you,
they fit
America. Love
right
you,
on the
Tallahassee.
rim
And justice for Dan
of your,
Markel.
like
Always.
from
It's
your
been 11
ears
years.
up.
11 years
Like
too
this.
long. See you on the flip side.
So yeah, we got this. I'm really happy about it. Rawr! Oh yeah, and if you want to go fishing, you could use this to go fishing. And oh yeah, all of my stuff are good for the body. Like I know that you omit energy. Sorry, hold up. I gotta find a good. Hello, legal-minded friends. Nah, bro. I'm gonna go back to testifying. All of them. Dan Markel, Charlie Edison's. I already watched Charlie Edison's testimony. Ooh, man. I could watch that, but nah, I need to watch some. I want to watch some of the court TV. Dana Edison uses code words for the hit on Dan Markel. There's that one. The state rest. Man, I really only like STS Nation whenever I watch these because every other site is just, it's not, I just don't really care too much for it. So I'm just gonna go STS Nation. STS Nation, Donna Adelson. Which case? I did watch the brother Robert testify. Day 5. Those are the people that were asked. I'm not gonna watch any court TV. I'm not a huge court TV fan. Jeff Lacoste and Charlie's ex-girlfriend testifies. I didn't see that. Did I? No, I didn't.
Why it's doing this?
I'm just gonna watch the recess. So here's this.
Strange day in court and a
I already
strange day
showed you
with my
this.
phone, which keeps wanting to switch.
Oh, I love
from
this
portrait
one.
to
I love the
landscape.
colors.
We had,
I love them.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, June
Woo!
and Chinda, and of course,
This one has
Jeff
3
Lacoste
colors in
leading
it.
off the way today.
Orange, yellow, and
but,
dark orange.
nevertheless interesting. I'm going to have the COE hop in here, see if she can help me out. And we will get cracking here in just one moment's time. I'm just unable to figure out
Here is a little
what is
orange
happening
one.
with this crazy possessed cell phone right now.
Welcome to the global phenomenon, Surviving the Survivor. Here's your host, Emmy Award-winning journalist, Joel Waldman.
What's up, STS Nation? Welcome to Surviving the Survivor. This is the show that brings you the very best guests in all of true crime, coming to you live from Tallahassee.
And then this one.
And that is the Leon County Courthouse. Every day it seems
I
to
really
be
like this one. I
something.
like
Today
how
it
I
is a
added a
possessed cell
couple
phone that is switching me in
different
and out
colors in it, because sometimes when I'm making my stuff, I don't.
But let me just tell you, today
I'm like, let
so
me just
much
put this
more of a
color
relaxed
together.
day
But
in
then like
court,
I don't
at
get
least in the
satisfied by
morning
some of the
hours up to
colors that
this
I use. But
point.
sometimes when it comes out in the
Yesterday
end, I'm like, oh, I'm
was
satisfied. I'm
just,
happy.
really
So, yeah.
heavy. Obviously, everybody expected Wendy Adelson to be the sort of the star witness of the day yesterday. Of course, the daughter of the defendant, Donna Adelson. But then the tables were flipped when Rob Adelson, the estranged son, appeared. Now,
Okay.
there were
So we've got
obviously
4 prayer caps, right?
prognostications that
4 prayer
Rob was
caps,
going to testify.
3
and he sure in fact
sandals,
showed up. He snuck in or was
4
sneaked in through his side door
waist
yesterday.
beads,
So many of
3
us in
chia
the
seed
media had no
earrings,
idea when or
4,
what time
7,
he was going to testify, but it
11,
happened in the afternoon yesterday.
14.
And
So
what
14
he
items
had to
total.
say
I wanted to
really
have at least
shook,
30
I think,
items.
not only
So
the people in the gallery who've been following this
14,
case,
plus
but
10
the
because
jurors
of the
themselves, and really, in
tie-dye
essence,
is 24.
what he said was
I would
that
like to have 2
Donna
hoods,
Adelson is this
which would be
overly
26
controlling mother. Now, he said
items.
that he did expect his parents to call him on his anniversary, which is
And
roughly 10 or
then
11 days after the murders in
10
July 14th.
beanies, which would be
July
36.
18th,
That's pretty good.
2014.
So I'm
Apologies.
satisfied
So
with that number.
he didn't really, he wasn't on
Because
great
I'm a
speaking
person, I gotta
terms
keep
even back
myself
then with his
lined up. If
family,
I don't
but
keep
typically
myself
they would
lined
call on
up,
the
then I
anniversary.
will
And he said that
be like doing every project
they
that I
got
can,
word
because
about
I
an
am into
arrest,
sewing
and
now.
so
Like I
he
am really
wanted to
into
bring
sewing,
it
and I
up,
made
but didn't
myself
feel
a matching
comfortable, and so
2-piece
therefore was
set.
waiting for
Sorry,
this
so I definitely
anniversary
gotta
to arrive, and sure enough, couple
organize
days
my brain a little
after
bit
that,
more.
he
But
gets a phone call
I'm
from
done talking now. I will be
Donna, and when he
watching what I need
broaches
to be
the
watching, and
subject
I will
of this
also be
arrest made in the murder of Dan
crocheting the beanie
Markel,
now. So
she
then I only have to
essentially
do
said,
9
I don't
now.
want to talk about it, and hung up on him. And according to him, that's really the last time that he has had contact with
Hi.
his mother. He said he realized the gravity
Here's
of
the
the
yarn I'll be using to
of
make the
that moment,
beanie.
and the gravity of that call, and
Oh,
the gravity of
all
an
of these are
arrest
made
being
out of
made. But he
cotton.
said that
So
his
I want you to
mother's
release positive energy.
reaction
All of
just
my stuff is
simply
made
left a
as
very bad taste in his
eco-friendly
mouth,
as
as
I
though to
can,
say he
because I
knew
want
that
the
she quite
self to be
possibly had
happy, you know?
something
I
to
want
do
the
with it, and
body
said
to
that
be
he
happy. When I
never
also have
talked
the
to
bottoms,
her
the
about it
bikini bottom.
again. And Sarah Catherine Dugan says, was that the last time that you ever spoke to her, period? And he said, yes, that was the last time I ever spoke with her. And again, yesterday, just the heaviness of it, when Rob testified to the fact that not only was Donna incredibly controlling, but that at one point she said she hated Dan Markel. So it got very heavy. And to be quite honest, I guess, and transparent, Rob Adelson's testimony alone, without another pile of evidence that's coming Don Adelson's way, it seems to me like the jurors almost got enough from Rob to secure a conviction in this case. Now, trials are long and they've got twists and turns, so we just don't know which way it's going to go. And then, of course, today, COEIC, but today, Jeff Lacasse, the one-time ex-boyfriend of Wendy Adelson, essentially got up on the stand and told the same stories that he has sort of told before, which is
Why am I putting it in the bag and I haven't gotten my crochet hook out of it yet? I don't know.
Interested in where
It's my
he would be
brain.
around the time of the murder. The implication is that he would be the
Scissors.
fall guy. But just re-listening to Jeff Lacasse today, I asked myself, how could anyone think that this guy, that this woman, Wendy Adelson, was not at the very least in the know about all this? Look who's showing up here in front of the Leon County Courthouse. We do it the old-fashioned way, Tim Jansen. You're going to break your knees. Tim Jansen is here. Jeff Lacasse today, what do you think? I mean, it was pretty much the same old sort of testimony, but I was just saying, like, when I listened to him, and he was talking again about how much he wanted, how much Wendy wanted to know where he would be on these specific days. How can you not think that she didn't know something at the very least, and at the most?
And he drives a Prius too, right?
Yeah.
I thought his damaging, he was really damaging because he contradicted about being a secret boyfriend. That Rob testified it was a secret, don't tell mom, but yet he met Donna like 7 times, and he admitted that Donna didn't like him because he wasn't Jewish.
Yeah.
So that clearly contradicted Wendy. That I don't think that's come out before.
That's a great point, too. I didn't even, you know what? I don't even think that I caught that, but that is true. He said that he met Don on multiple occasions. And what about the fact that Wendy was just sick, literally sick to her stomach ahead of this, right? What
I
is there
have
to be
this
sick
one
about?
right here.
And he said it
This
was like an
yellow
anxiety. It wasn't
that
like
I am gonna
an
add
illness.
to it.
So,
I know I'm gonna
He's
add to
such
it.
a
I think I'm gonna make a slouching
He is
beanie,
a
but
credible witness,
why am I
and he
talking?
tells the
Because
story.
it's kind of like
And look how
every time I
uncanny,
want to
he
make
looks just
something,
like Dan Markel.
Yeah.
He really does.
and then I'm like, yeah, I'm
you
gonna
know,
make this. It turns
thankfully
out
he
different.
left
My brain
early on that
makes it
trip,
something totally
or this
different.
investigation might have got sidetracked
Please
towards
don't
him. Because he could have, where he would have been working out doing yoga is 2 blocks from the murder scene. 2 blocks.
Yeah, and he even said that, the path he would have taken the day out of town to leave Tallahassee essentially would have been the same basic it would have been paralleling Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, so he easily could have taken the fall. Tim Jansen now
So
saying a
let's see,
lunch
we
live
have
where I
14
literally
items
am sitting
completed
on the ground.
out of the
My tripod is not
36
working. Tim, maybe it's
that's
time
gonna
for
be
STS to
completed
invest
as a whole,
in
and we
equipment
are
that is more than
moving like a
$39.99.
Like the
steam
ABC
engine on this
reporter.
one.
Yeah, just gonna rub it in.
But first, let me get some wheat thins in here.
Jimmy McNutty's here. I'm going to bring him out. You know, there's a bunch of STS Nation people who traveled here. And Tim Jansen, that's a great point. I'm going to bring them on during the lunch lives. And while I have everybody on this lunch live, I think we're going to bring Carm on tonight. Carm has some things to say about Rob Adelson. She is the OG co-host of the show. I don't know if you're coming on tonight, Tim. I hope you are.
I have my fantasy football game tonight.
Priorities.
Hey, Joel.
Yes.
Joel, really quickly, because I have to go. Can you also just talk a little bit about the difference between yesterday and today? Obviously, yesterday, big testimony, a lot of tension in the room. That was family. Today, still interesting witnesses, but talk to us a little bit about the difference in terms
Every time I
of,
take a bite, I bleed.
what jurors were reacting to, what you think the mood was inside of the courtroom for both Donna and Harvey, but also for people that are there just watching and observing everything.
4 days ago.
Well, since I love fighting so much, I'll make the fight analogy, Tim.
Did for
to
witness
me,
testimony in Denmark
yesterday was the first couple of rounds where people,
New York drivers, do not pay your auto insurance bill until you hear this. The truth is, they're legally robbing you every time you pay for.
After the defense rests to come back in with rebuttal testimony or evidence. And that means this is again. And here's Tim. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Well, I will tell you, I watched Jackie's Cross last night of Katie.
Okay.
See,
I would give it an
one
F.
thing that I love and hate.
You
It was
become a law
absolutely
professor.
it was
About
like
eating-
the worst cross-examination I ever saw.
Wheat thins.
Why? Tell
Is
us
that-
why.
She had so much
You're
impeachment.
exercising your
And
jaw
I
and
think the
your
only
temples
impeachment said,
hurt
well, you
so
lie,
much
you're a
from
liar.
chewing.
That's not
But
how
you know
get
your brain
across
is
to a
getting
jury
an
she's a
exercise.
liar. You go up
You
there
have
and
to
say,
put them-
listen, you went to this first
chew,
trial.
chew, chew.
You walked into a courtroom and you
That's
swore.
how you don't end up with
You
gang
swore,
sign
you said
teeth.
yes, sir, no, sir, to that judge. And you swore to 12 jurors. And you lied to them. And you thought you were going to win. And then your second trial, you turned out because you thought you were going to win again. And you lied again. And I would have checked that transcript to make sure, did she say anything about Donna in those first two trials? If she didn't.
She did. I think she said that what she said the other day or yesterday, that Charlie told her that Donna stopped the night of the murder and left off the money.
So she didn't mention the money. Oh, she left the money.
What? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she said that. That's why the defense is so intent on challenging Corbett on the cell tower information as to where Donna's car was that night.
Right. But she could have done so much more because, she could have said, hey, why are you doing this? Aren't you trying to get your sentence reduced? And how do you get your sentence reduced? Wouldn't it require the state of Florida to move to dismiss
coconut
this
milk
charge
is in here.
and let you plead to a second-degree
And
murder?
ice.
So the only way you'll benefit is if the state, these people that you're now testifying, agrees to drop your first-degree murder.
Yeah.
One thing about this I love.
Yeah, she could have gone for every statement Katie
Things are
testified
staying
to in the
cold.
last couple of trials.
If you don't like the
I don't like
message,
drinking
you
cold,
kill the
but-
messenger, right?
Right.
She didn't kill her.
Summer's almost
No,
done.
I'm wondering because Tim, I think the defense has been inconsistent in what they're doing, and I'm wondering whether, to some extent, they are not particularly concerned about the testimony that Katie is giving, the testimony that I'm trying to think of some of the other witnesses, because they don't care if the jury finds that Charlie is guilty. What they care about is the connection between Donna and Charlie. And I think, if I'm right, they go back and forth on how they're handling it, and it's confusing because sometimes they do challenge the information that's going to Charlie's guilt, and often they don't. and it's just a very, if I'm reading it right, it's just an extraordinarily inconsistent way of deciding how they're going to approach it. I mean, it seems to me they should either go after it with regard to the evidence against Charlie, or pretty much let it alone, and they're picking and choosing in ways I don't understand.
Well, you're right. We don't see where they are. Someone asked about my tea. It's right here. That may be true, but when you do cross-examination, you should already know your point. You should have your tab spot. You should be able to ask your questions, get in a rhythm so you can start to control that witness like Georgia does. They're not controlling, they're flipping papers, they're looking at each other for 2 minutes, no questions. And when they get up there, they ask something, then they move to another topic. They never really hold the witness.
Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, there I absolutely agree with you. And it seems fumbling.
Yeah.
And I just, and that makes me think of something else. There was a very famous, and I'm blanking on his name, law professor who did lectures on evidence rules, and he had one about, the parrot fornicating, and you can do that on cross-examination. What's his name? Anyway, he talked about when he was younger, he couldn't come across as being totally in charge and smooth. So he wore a little bow tie, and he had these really big, horn-rimmed glasses. He made himself look as fumbling and as not in control as he could, because that was going to be the presentation he made to the jury to get them on his side. And I'm wondering a little, because Jackie keeps saying, gee, I'm old, I don't know about any of this modern technology, I use these cardboard, whatever they are, posters, I don't know about Skype and all of that.
Yeah, that's what I thought was bogus too, was the defense was like saying tactical. Like something about
if Skype. If it is, I think it's failing miserably.
And I'm like, you should know. They were made during your time.
Right.
Okay.
Cowboy boots
So we got the first row
and
down.
hat, right?
Bam.
And
who knows? I might take it out a million times until I get it perfect.
Everybody
That's just how
listened. Everybody, he had that attention.
Yeah. Jerry Spence spoke at a graduation in Nebraska. Had everyone on the faculty upset, and I think everybody in the audience,
like
because
to just
he
stick their
came in
needle
and
in, but I like to
you're
wrap it around
graduating and you're going into a profession where everybody's a prostitute. You're all whores. At a graduation ceremony where the parents want to feel they spent their money wisely and be proud of their kids.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, they must be doing something again, because we're after 9 and we haven't started.
So Joe, I spoke at UF Law School, and I was speaking to him, and I actually was trying to tell him what happens in the real world. And so I think I said that's a bunch of bullshit. And then the dean came up to me afterwards, said, "Did you really cuss in the classroom?" I'm like, "No, I just said bullshit." I guess you're not allowed to say that, but I wanted them to get real life experience. What they're going to get when they get out, not just textbook.
Yeah. But you wouldn't say that at a graduation ceremony.
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
No, yeah. But that was Jerry Spence.
He was a good lawyer.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Jackie's been in court that much in a long time. And what happened to Josh? Josh has done nothing in this. He's almost invisible.
That's the question that came up on chat. Why have they decided that Jackie's handling all the cross-examinations?
It's not because she's excellent at it.
Well, you said way back, I know when it was. It was Charlie's trial after George's cross of Charlie, and a lot of people were disappointed. And you said, well, prosecutors don't generally do a lot of cross-examination. They do the direct, and it's typically they're not the ones doing cross, so they don't get as much experience with it. And I thought at the time that was exactly right. And her experience was before she went on the bench, all on the prosecution side, right?
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Defense lawyers have to be really good at cross-examination.
Right.
For the most part, that's what their job is in a trial.
Right. And it's harder because direct, you get a chance to prepare.
I came out like a cone.
Cross.
I'm not satisfied.
You don't know necessarily
which
what's
means
coming
that
and
I'm
when,
going to
and you
take
have
it out
really
and
be
make it more
on
flat.
your toes to hear what's being said, and if it's something different than you expected, to go off
One
and
thing
follow
about crocheting, no
it.
matter how long you've been crocheting, I don't think that you will always get the project that you have down
because you
right
can't,
the first time.
you know, you can only prepare so
like
far
me.
ahead with a cross-examination, and you have to be able to listen. And a lot of people, including lawyers, don't listen
School
well.
started, and so there's
You know,
a
it's
lot
it's
of
all a
kids out doing
presentation.
this.
And what I would have done right when I finished my last question, I would have said, Miss McDonough, you've lied to at least 2 juries. When I walked over and I said, and look at this jury, you want them to believe you this time. Why should they? When everything is you have everything on the line. And I would stop near the jury, have her look at the jury, and then I would walk back to my chair.
Okay, Shakira, let's play. What game are you?
Sure, let's play.
All right.
Didn't she
So,
steal
you
a
prefer
song?
classic game?
Get off my screen. Losing.
But
Well, I will
She
tell
stole
you,
the
Tim, I watched a couple of these
She's
comment
like,
shows last night, and there are at least a couple
African
of
song
lawyers
came
out
to
there
you. You don't
who
even
think,
look
Jackie's
part
doing a pretty
African.
good job.
really, I wonder if they know
Little
the
liars.
defense.
Yeah, I wondered
I love how
actually
everybody
when I
thinks that they
heard the
can just do
comments
whatever they want as if they will
how
not get
well
judged
they
in the
know
end
the
at the underworld.
intricacies of the facts of the case,
Go crazy.
because it is possible
Just because
that
you
you
do
could
it and
think,
nobody
oh, I
sees
don't
you
think she's
doesn't
doing a
mean
good
that
job.
it's
So,
not.
but
No,
to
you
the
know
extent
about
you
it.
think she's doing a good job, it's easier if you don't know all the missed opportunities because
More
you don't
flat.
have a close acquaintance.
I'm getting
with
more
all the
satisfied.
facts
More satisfied.
available.
And that's just me adding 2
Well, she might surprise us. Maybe
double
she's
crochets
playing possum.
in each hole. Anyhow,
And
by the
they're
way,
gonna
I
come
don't
back in
do
their
too much of
case
the like
and
knowing
weave
single
this all
crochet, double
together.
crochet. I
But she
just do what I
certainly
want, and it
didn't
comes out the way
impeach
I want it.
Katie
No, it doesn't come
yesterday.
out the way I want it.
No,
Just
and she
comes
didn't
out, and then
go
I'm like,
after
I'm
Ryan
satisfied.
Fitzpatrick on his background and the big fight between him and Charlie over who stole money, and his, animus towards Charlie and the bias that might have prompted, his testimony. She left it all on the table.
Right. Everybody has their own style of cross-examination. McDonough was a big witness, key witness, because it ties, really the first one to tie Donna to washing the money. And she was saying, she was talking about the murder and talking to Charlie, going out the room, coming back. Another inference linking Donna to the conversation, to the knowledge. And, we'll see.
Yeah. But Katie, for all the lying, has a couple of pieces of information that it's hard to believe.
I think the girl, Katie,
she could have just lied herself to it.
Ooh,
Such
these
as
white
the money
prosecutors
being damp
always
and the
butcher her
mold.
name. I think she's
I
Filipino.
mean, in what
and it's very
lifetime,
sad to know
if
that
you're
such a
gonna lie to
beautiful,
try to
cultured, I don't know if she's
exculpate
cultured, but
yourself, would you tell that story?
I just say it, such a
I
beautiful
mean, that one is just.
woman from
it
a great
rings
culture
true because it's so
could fall
bizarre.
down
There could
from
be anything
a
other than
freaking
true, and that
white
anybody
man who
would make
wanted
it
a
up
crime
because
done.
there's no purpose to that lie.
I hate that a lot.
If it's a lie.
Did Corbett take the stand yesterday?
Yes.
Chris is an excellent witness.
Yeah, he did.
He looks at the jury. He's excellent. He's a hard witness to cross-examine.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back on court now.
Everyone can be seated. Good morning, members of the jury. We are about to resume with the examination of Sergeant Corbett.
Good morning, Judge.
Before we get started today, I did want to ask you as a group, we are still good on the snacks? Everybody has enough? All right. Headed back to Costco this weekend if need be, but let the bailiffs know. Ms. Dugan, you may examine as necessary.
I'm really excited to see what this beanie, because this is going to be, I think, my first time doing an on-purpose slouch beanie. Let's hope it comes out the way my brain would like it.
And before I show it to you, Jen,
Because
I'd
the
like to
person who's
offer
going to wear this is going to look
64 JJ into
amazing.
evidence by stipulation.
That's correct.
I know they will. I don't hope. I know they will. I don't really use that word no more in my vocabulary. To hope is to continue without faith. I know they will like this. I know they will look amazing.
All right, Sergeant Corbett, does this appear to be an email from Donna Harvey at gmail.com?
Yes.
Okay, subject, bad news.
Correct.
And it was sent on June 25th of 2013 at about 11 p.m.
That would be GMT or UTC time, so we would need to subtract 4 hours from that to be local time. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So sometime the night of June 25th
The
of
first
2013.
and the second hole.
Correct.
And then I'm going to do
and that was
one
the same day as the
double crochet in the next. So I'm going to go
I believe the plan of action email that we saw yesterday from your PowerPoint, which was sent just a couple of days after Wendy's relocation was denied.
That's correct.
Okay.
No, I'm going to go 2-1-1.
In this email sent about 5 days after Wendy's relocation was denied, from Donna and Harvey to some friends, does it say, not in the mood to talk right now, and hope you'll understand. Wendy's hearing for relocation was denied. No chance at the appellate level for an appeal. We are all very disappointed. We'll talk soon, I promise. Love, Donna.
Yes.
Does it appear her understanding is it's denied and there's no chance for an appeal?
That would be correct, yes.
They're just eating that family
Okay,
alive.
well, let me switch you back over. Thank you. Okay, so where we left off yesterday, we went through some of the emails showing Donna Adelson's involvement in the divorce, text messages showing her venting to Charlie Adelson about the divorce. Are you familiar with Luis Rivera's statements to law enforcement in 2016 after his arrest, that he and Garcia traveled to Tallahassee not only in the month of July of 2014 to kill Dan Markell, but also made an additional trip in the month of June of 2014?
Yes.
And were you able to corroborate that from the phone records?
Yes, we were.
Okay, so now I want to go in chronological order then, from the start of the June trip all the way through the July trip when Dan Markell was murdered. How did Garcia and Rivera get to Tallahassee for the June trip?
In a rental vehicle.
And were we able to find the rental contract for that vehicle?
We were, yes.
All right, can you show that to us?
Yes, so this is slide 107. I'm referencing here a rental contract from Comfort Rental Car in Miami. And again, yes, this will be the vehicle that was rented to come to Tallahassee for the June trip.
What date was the car rented?
So looking at the details here, we can see the date out, and I'm looking to the right side of the screen here is June 2nd of 14. And we see at the bottom here, the vehicle is due back in 6/5 or June 5th of 14.
Okay, so it was a 3-day rental then.
Correct.
About what time on June 2nd was it rented?
Well, presuming the 24-hour rental periods, as it is due back at 8:50 p.m., then it would have been rented around 8:50 p.m. on the 2nd.
8:50 p.m. on the 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. What type of car did Garcia rent for this first trip to Tallahassee in June?
Again, looking to the right here of slide 107, it is a silver Nissan Altima.
And the contract was signed by Garcia?
That is correct.
Does Luis Rivera's name appear anywhere on that contract?
It does not.
Are there any phone records to show how this rental car was picked up?
Yes.
Did you get location
Okay,
information
I can see a
from
little kid walking
Magnanimo's
around. Where's
records
the
that
mug?
night that helped shed some light on that?
We did, and
This is what we have
this
so
may be
far.
the time to point out for
And
Mr.
now,
Garcia,
I think I'm just going
his
to just
carrier
keep going,
was
keep going, keep
Metro
going, keep
PCS, kind of transitioning into T-Mobile
then-
at that time.
Oh, that felt amazing.
And we were
Oh, that
unable
was great.
to obtain location
great.
records for
So
his
happy about
handset
that.
for the June trip. We do have location information for Ms. McManawa and for Luis Rivera, but we do not have any records with location for Mr. Garcia for this particular time frame.
Okay. So what do we see here?
So what we see here is just a map depicting Ms. McManawa's residence at the time and the location of the Comfort rental car near the airport here. And as I progress to slide 109, this is representing the cell sites that Ms. McManawa's handset communicated with the evening of June 2nd. And we can see on the right-hand side of this, around 8:25 p.m., her handset was communicating with a cell site that would be near her residence. At 8:34, she's now communicating with a cell site further to the west. And then we see at 8:53 through 8:58, she's communicating with a cell site that would be servicing the area of the airport or Comfort rental car. And this will be consistent with her handset traveling from her residence to the area of Comfort rental car.
And would that put her cell phone then consistent with Comfort rental car around the same time
well, back
that
to the
Garcia
other
is
part.
renting that car if there's 24-hour rental periods with that contract?
Yes, and we see here slide 110. Again, we're depicting the particular sector that her handset was using by the large red arrow. And we can see that that sector would specifically be consistent with servicing the Comfort rental car. We see she has events from 8:53 through 8:58 on that particular cell site and sector. And as we recall, the rental contract vehicle was due back at 8:50.
Does she stay in that area for a while, or does she kind of immediately return back to her residence?
So what we see next, we saw those events through 8:58, and then we have an event at 9:17, and then another event we see to the right. This is slide 111. To the right side, we see cell sites at 9:43 and 10:01, which will be consistent with her returning to her residence. So she does stay in the area of Comfort for a short period of time.
Okay. Did you look at her records to see who she was talking to during this trip to the car rental and back?
Yes.
Okay. Who was she talking? Okay. Sorry. What do we see here?
So this is a summary of the call detail records. Previously, we saw the actual raw records as they come from AT&T. We saw that there was a lot of information on the page. So with our analytical software, we're able to produce these summaries, which allow us to assign names. We can convert the date and time to a local time, and it just makes it easier to read those call detail records. So this is just a summary of the calls for the subjects that you see here for the evening of June 2nd around the time of this rental car.
So who was she talking to on the way to Comfort rental?
Geico, the 800 number that returns to Geico Insurance.
And is that the first line up on the call detail records we see?
It is, yes.
And does Geico Insurance sell car insurance?
They do.
Now, obviously we see some of the co-conspirators talking to each other here on the call detail records. Do we expect most of these co-conspirators to be talking to each other on a daily basis, given that some of them are family members, some of them are dating, they have relationships outside of this crime?
Certainly.
Okay. Are you going to be walking us through in your presentation today certain time periods of communication between the parties that stood out in this investigation?
Yes.
What causes a particular period of time to stand out?
The particular times of interest would be those that overlap with physical events or specific events in the crime, in the conspiracy of the crime. So this is the evening of the renting of the vehicle that Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera are going to drive to Tallahassee in to commit the homicide. So this seems, in the scheme of things, to my understanding, the first kind of physical doing act of this homicide. And so that would be a relevant time frame to look at.
Gosh, some dogs are ugly. Some dogs are
All right, so
ugly.
using a timeline, can you walk us through
Okay, this
the
is our
communication
sofa.
between the parties
We could
for
make a
this
cup.
particular significant time,
Woo-wee.
this first car rental
Look at
for the
nipple.
first trip to Tallahassee for the murder of Dan
Okay, I
Markel?
think I'm gonna
Yes.
turn.
And so using the
I'm
timeline,
gonna
we
turn towards
will
the
kind of
sun
look
because I need
at
the
what's
sun to be
happening
penetrating
as far
my
as Miss
face.
McManus'
See
travels
this chocolate?
compared
I
to
need to
who
be
she's
darker
communicating
chocolate because you know
with. And this
winter's
is
coming,
taken from that same
and I'm
exact
not
summary
planning
that
on
we just
being
saw.
anything close
But
to
as I
the
move on
moon
here,
or clean. So I'm gonna get
we see
dark
that
chocolate.
in the time frame, we saw
my
the
little
cell
juice?
sites of her traveling to the area of Comfort Rental Car between approximately 8:25 and 8:53 p.m. is when we see that she has the phone call to Geico.
Okay, was she talking to Garcia at all during that drive to the comfort rental area?
She does not have any communications with Mr. Garcia during this time frame.
Since they don't have communications with each other, could that be consistent with her giving him a ride to the car rental since he is the person who rented the car at that time?
There's your speculation. Overall, the witness may testify based on his analysis of these records.
It is certainly consistent when we
Damn.
don't see communications between two parties that they could in fact be together and have no need to actually call one another.
Okay. They could just not be together and also not talking to each other.
That's correct.
All right.
Okay.
But the reason that this could be consistent with her giving him a ride there is because
Let me
once she's consistent with that
turn and
area,
keep
it
crocheting.
seems that that's the time that the car is being rented.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, who attempts to call Catherine McVanois once she is consistent with Comfort Rental, dropping off Garcia?
So again, at the time frame, her handset will be consistent with the area of Comfort Rental. We see an incoming call from Charlie Adelson at 8:57 p.m.
After McVanois, if she has dropped off Garcia at this point to rent the car, and this car ends up obviously being the one that is driven to Tallahassee to kill Dan Markel, who did she call on the phone at this point after Garcia is dropped off?
So again, from her cell sites, we saw she had an event at 9:17, which was kind of the first indication that she was moving away from the area of Comfort Rental Car. And what we see is that at 9:17:58, she places an outbound call to Charlie Adelson.
So as soon as she's no longer in the area of Comfort Rental, she's calling Charlie Adelson.
Correct.
How long is that conversation?
A little over 25 minutes.
There you go. Now see.
What time do they get off the
Chocolate
phone?
is chocolate.
Approximately 9:43 p.m.
Okay.
At 9:43 in about 25 seconds, it looks like.
Correct.
It's 2:11
Right after
for
Charlie
me. Let's see
Adelson
if I
hangs up
can
with
finish
Catherine
this
McVanois
by
at
video.
9:43
That'd be cool.
and 25 seconds. Who does he call less than a minute later?
Charlie calls the Adelson resident.
How many subscriptions do you have?
Probably just Netflix and Spotify.
All right, it's saying you have 13 subscriptions, which is costing you around $270 a month.
Okay, bye. It's none of my business.
Adelson residence.
None of my business.
What do you mean by that?
The home phone or landline phone for Donna and Harvey Adelson.
Okay, so this is a landline that presumably they would both use that's located in their house.
Correct.
Okay, and how long does that conversation between Charlie and the Adelson residents last?
Also just over 25 minutes.
Who does Catherine McVanois call once she is back in the area of her home?
This is new.
What we see in just after 10, she calls, text. There's a few communications back and forth here with Sigfredo.
Okay, do Harvey Adelson and Charlie Adelson then talk on their cell phones that night?
Yes, there are two calls, and we can see 10:16 that Harvey Adelson calls Charlie Adelson. At 10:27, Charlie Adelson calls Harvey Adelson.
So this is Charlie and Harvey talking on Harvey's cell phone, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, does Charlie Adelson call or receive calls or messages from Donna Adelson's cell phone that night?
Not that night.
So if Charlie Adelson talked to Donna Adelson on the phone that night, then it would have been that 25-minute call to the landline right after he hung up with Catherine McVanois, is that right?
Speculation.
Overruled. Sit down.
Saying what did or did not occur, what might have been possible.
Silence your mouth.
They continue.
So yes, it is possible that he spoke to Donna, and that would have been on that landline call.
Because then he talks to Harvey on Harvey's cell phone later that night.
Yeah, Harvey's gonna go down too. Ooh,
can you walk
because
us
I was
through any
thinking,
other
will the
calls
dad
or
go
texts
down? But
between
they
any
need more
co-conspirators
evidence
that
of
night?
the dad. But I think the
So we
dad
see
would
an
be more of
additional
a
text
obstruction. But
between
he needs to go
Catherine and
down too. He's
Sigfredo,
acting like he didn't
and
know. He
then
knows. You
Catherine
marry a
calls Charlie again,
crazy woman.
10:41 p.m.
You like crazy women.
for
You
about
stayed
a
with her for so long.
23-minute
You
phone
know
call.
she's crazy and she's
Are
controlling.
you familiar with?
Ah,
I want to go back to this landline call. Do you mind going back to the slide right before this? Are you familiar with statements by Charlie Adelson from the 2016 wiretap in this case that we'll hear beginning later today, where Charlie Adelson tells people on his cell phone that he'll call them back on a landline?
Yes.
As someone who's familiar with technical operations of law enforcement and wiretapping, is there a perception that talking on a landline is safer than talking on a cell phone?
Yes, I think that may be a perception.
Okay. Does Charlie Adelson most often talk to Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson on their cell phones or on the landline?
So the
most
cool thing
frequently
I
on
love
their
about
cell
making
phones.
hats and
Okay.
beanies and
But
prayer
we see
caps
that after he
is
gets
that
off with
they
Catherine
basically
McBanwell
all
that
start
night, he
the
does call the
same.
landline.
But the cool thing about
That's
them
correct.
is that
Okay,
you
and
can
this is
make
right
them as big
after
as you want. Like I
the
can
car
make
is
them.
rented, the
I
rental
know that
car.
I'm gonna keep
Correct.
going and
All
I'm
right.
gonna say the same.
What percentage of total communication
with the same?
does
What you call it again?
that
Perimeter.
Charlie Adelson has with
But
Donna and Harvey
the area
is to
is
their
gonna get
landline?
bigger.
I'll have to move forward here just a little
same
bit. We
amount
had
of
talked
stitches,
about
but
the call
same,
from Catherine and
but
Charlie. There's a
different
final
width
call
of the
or some
inside.
communication
It's like,
between Ms. McBanwell and Mr. Sigfredo, Mr. Garcia later that evening
a
of the
bucket.
second. And then to get
The
to your
top is the
question,
same,
this is slide
but
122.
the area gets
Just a breakdown,
deeper.
I'm
You
looking
can put
at
more water
Charlie
into it as you
Adelson's
build it up.
communication records and trying to eliminate all the duplicate events that we saw previously where one phone call may make 3 events in the record. So trying to whittle all those down. What we see in this time period between May of 2014 through August of 2015 is 28 communications with the landline and 1,378 with the combined cell phones of Harvey and Donna Adelson. So a little under 2% of the calls to the residents.
So during that
Wendy's going
little
next.
over a year time span, he only has
Wendy's
28
going
calls
next.
ever
Ooh. Yeah,
with
Wendy's
Donna
gotta
and
go
Harvey's
next, and then
landline. Is that
Harvey's
right?
gotta go.
That's correct.
And one of those is that 25-minute call right after McBanwell would have dropped Garcia off to have the car rented.
That's correct.
Are you familiar with Rivera's statement that he did not participate in the car rental for the June trip to Tallahassee?
Yes.
Were you able to corroborate that with the phone records?
Yes, so looking at slide 123, we see Mr. Rivera. His cell sites are in the blue, listed by the blue dots here. We see that his cell sites are consistent with the area of his residence and a significant distance away from the comfort rental car.
Do we have any other evidence that shows who rented the car for this June trip to Tallahassee on June 2nd?
Yes.
What's this?
So there was a citation issued to Mr. Garcia
Or is it a B?
for driving that rental vehicle, that Nissan that we saw from the rental contract at Comfort.
Is it a B?
And this is the
Needs to
evening of
stop.
June 2nd.
Moving so I can see it. Same colors, but you know there's so many.
Okay, and what time
imposters.
did he receive this traffic ticket?
9:48 p.m.
So would this have been approximately an hour after 8:50 p.m. and about an hour after, or about maybe 45 minutes, I guess, after Catherine McBanwell is leaving the comfort rental area?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of car was he in when he received this traffic ticket?
It is a 4-door silver Nissan.
Okay, so it seems as if as soon as he rented that vehicle, within an hour, he's getting a traffic ticket in the vehicle.
Yes.
And are you familiar with Jeffrey Lacoste's statement that he drove a silver Nissan sedan at the time that this happened?
See?
Yes.
They try to get.
Now, this
poor guy.
traffic
I'm
ticket
so happy they
that
didn't.
Garcia received,
didn't
this
work
would
out.
have received, or it would have created a record in law
Yeah,
enforcement
to show
databases that he was in possession of this Nissan silver sedan, right?
Correct.
So after he got this traffic ticket, what did he do?
Well, what we saw was an additional comfort rental contract where it would appear that he returned the Nissan and obtained a different vehicle. So this is slide 125, and we can see that on June 3rd, he now has a blue Hyundai Sonata.
And does Rivera's name appear anywhere on that rental contract?
It does
$1
not.
million to split 3 ways just to go to
All
jail
right, and that's
for,
on June 3rd, you said?
for a whole
Correct.
entire
So what can you tell us about
lifetime?
the
No,
travel
sir.
of Mr. Rivera's
Not even
handset
a
on
good deal for
June
it. Not
4th
even
of
splitting 3
2014?
ways. Jeez.
So what we see again, just looking at Mr. Rivera's cell sites represented in blue here, we can see that in the early morning hours of the 4th, on the lower right hand of slide 127 here, we can see he has activity in the Miami area. And as time progresses through the early morning hours until just after noon, he continues to communicate with cell sites that will be consistent with travel from the Miami area to Tallahassee.
So I told the girl, I said, well, do me a favor, put the money in the bag.
And are you familiar with Rivera's statements that he and Garcia did surveillance of Dan Markel
Some
at a
celebrities
park
have
near Dan
celebrity
Markel's
dinners.
home during that trip?
They need to
Yes.
retire from the.
Was his phone ever
from
consistent
giving
with
advice
being in a
or
park
just
near his
talking
home,
or
Dan
being
Markel's home on
celebrities?
Truscott Drive?
Yes, and slide 129 here, we see that, again, the blue dot representing Mr. Rivera's cell site usage is close to Mr. Markel's residence, which is indicated here on the top right by the flag and the address of Truscott Drive. And in addition to his cell site location, we talked previously about having some GPS information from the rental vehicle. And we can see by the square icon there that there is a GPS location for the rental vehicle, again, in close proximity and actually at, I believe that's Winthrop Park there.
And if they're located right there where that blue square is on the map, and the killers are familiar with the type of car that Dan Markel drives, would they be able to see then his ingress and egress from Truscott Drive onto Benton Road?
They should be able to see him passing on Benton Road, yes.
And after this GPS ping near Markel's home, where does Rivera travel at that point?
What we see in the next slide, 130 here, is that immediately after that, we see the cell site usage starting at the top around 3:25 p.m. and continuing through until the late evening hours of the 5th would be consistent with traveling back to the Miami area.
Does he get back in looks like the early morning hours of June 6th?
That's correct.
Close 12:47 a.m.?
Correct.
Now, did you look at the communication between all the co-conspirators during this trip to Tallahassee to see if there was any opportunity for information to be relayed?
Yes. So what we see, again, from the time of the rental car on the second through the 4th, again, to answer the question, is there an opportunity for communications to occur between these subjects? This, again, is another summary of the call detail records, just showing the communications between, again, the primary subjects of the investigation.
Okay, and how much were they talking?
So in that time frame, if we go back to kind of our organization here and split out, we can see just numbers of communications or attempted communications. These may be text messages, calls, but just records of communications or attempts. We see that there are a number between Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson, between Charlie Adelson and Catherine Magbanua, and between Magbanua and Garcia. And then as that continues, so for the total number of communications, we can see those between each of the subjects.
Okay, and is Catherine Magbanua the only one who is talking to Garcia or Rivera during that trip on this chart?
That's correct.
And is Charlie Adelson the only Adelson family member who talks to Catherine Magbanua?
That's correct.
And do Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson also have communication or attempted communication?
I'm sorry?
Do Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson also have communication or attempted communication?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's it so far as it grows.
Now,
I really like how tight the
going next to
piece
June
is coming
7th,
out.
which would be the day after the killers arrived back in Miami without having killed Dan Markel on this trip. Earlier in the presentation, yesterday, right before we broke in the afternoon, we saw we're back in March of 2014. Donna Adelson tells Charlie Adelson she has to talk to him about something private while she's on the road on the way to Gainesville, and says to erase this text. Do you remember that?
I do, yes.
Okay. And then a few minutes after she sends that message, she says the subject of the private call is going to be about Dad's birthday.
Correct.
Dad's birthday gift, actually. Is that right?
Yes.
And she does not tell him to erase that text where she's saying the subject of the private call.
That's correct.
Now, in June, specifically on June 7th, did Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson exchange texts about this birthday present for Harvey Adelson again?
Yes. So slide 137, we see two chats between Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson, where Charlie indicates he's okay, have fun, still working on Dad's B-Day present. And Donna Adelson responds, I know it's a tough B-Day being 70 and all, but I know you'll come through.
Okay, and this still working on Dad's B-Day present would be the day after the killers arrived back in Miami without having killed Dan Markel.
Correct.
Okay, and this birthday present was mentioned back in March. About, would that be about 4 months before Harvey Adelson's birthday?
Yes.
All right, going forward to July 3rd. Was there an Evite to Harvey Adelson's birthday sent to Wendy Adelson that day?
Yes, a reminder email that was sent on July 3rd.
Okay, and when is the party?
So as we see, kind of focusing in here on the details of this email, the party, friendly reminder that Donna's event is coming up on Saturday, July 5th, 2014 at 7:30 p.m.
Okay, and was it addressed to Wendy, and we blurred out their names, but her two sons, and listed Wendy and her two sons' last name as Adelson?
Yes.
Was Dan Markel still alive on July 5th of 2014?
He was.
And what last name, or an Adelson though, is listed as the boy's last name here when this is sent?
And I'm sorry.
Sorry, Adelson is listed as the boy's last name though, regardless of the fact that Dan Markel is still alive on this date?
That's correct.
And this was about 2 weeks before Dan Markel was killed?
Yes.
Look at her looking just because she knows
Donna
she's going
is
down. I love
listed
it.
as the host here.
Let's see.
But was there further evidence in the records that Donna Adelson was not only the host, but was also the person who sent these Evites?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you
I just
tell
want
us
to be
about
able
that?
to have you guys say the
There
crochet.
was at least one other email from the Donna Harvey at Gmail account to Evite inquiring about whether the Evites had been sent. The title of the email, I believe, is "Have my 14 invitations been sent?" She's following up. It is signed by Donna Adelson, following up on whether those Evites have actually gone out. And it indicates that basically she's unfamiliar with the process, but she had listed the attendees under the contact section on their form.
So she's the one that's listing the invitees for the contacts for Evite.
Per that email, yes.
And checking to make sure the invitations did get sent through the Evite service.
Correct.
And does she also send a message to another person saying, did you get the Evite? Did you get my Evite?
Yes.
All right. I want to move on to then a couple of days later, July 6th. So would this be the day after the party?
Yes.
Okay, what message was found in the cellbrite of Wendy Adelson's cell phone on July 6th?
So this is slide 142. There is a text message from Wendy Adelson to Dan Markell asking if he is in Tallahassee for the dates of July 14th through the 18th.
And she says she wants to know because she wants to know if she can have the kids on the 16th.
Correct.
And he replies, yes, you can.
Correct.
So chronologically, this would have occurred after the trip to Tallahassee in June by the killers, but before the July trip to Tallahassee when Dan Markell was actually murdered.
Correct.
Now, the dates that Wendy Adelson is asking Dan Markell about, what is significant about those dates? What happened on July 15th?
Those dates encompass the rental car and the trip to Tallahassee and ultimately Mr. Markell's death.
Okay. So July 15th was the day that the killers rented the car to come to Tallahassee.
Correct.
And then they were in Tallahassee from the 16th through the 18th.
Correct.
With Dan Markell being killed on the 18th.
Correct.
It's gonna wake me up.
And where was Wendy Adelson when she sent this message?
So.
Oh, thank you. Let me ask you about this. Was there already a schedule in place as to who would have the kids during those dates that Wendy Adelson asked Dan Markell about?
Yes, there was. So this is an email from Wendy Adelson's Gmail account referencing the schedule for the children for this particular time. And we can see in the email that Mr. Markell is listed to have the children the 11th through the 17th.
And the date she was asking about is the 16th.
I would like to be on this side for
Correct.
2 hours.
And in the top of that email, does it say that she gets the kids every Wednesday
30 more
anyway?
minutes until I wanted to finish with this.
That she has the children every Wednesday anyway.
Let's see what's
Yeah, on the last sentence, I imagine you'll have the chance to have them on Wednesday nights during the weeks in May, June, and July.
Yes, that
tomorrow.
She would imagine to have the chance.
Okay. So what she was asking about seems to already be established in this schedule that was already established in January, 7 months earlier.
Correct.
All right, so where was Wendy Adelson when she sent the message
If I get super sleepy, I'm
to
gonna
find
get up
out
and run.
whether Dan Markell would be in town that week?
So that message was sent the morning of the 6th,
Maybe I'm
and the
stand up.
closest cell site,
Get my blood
and then we
flowing
have
up
the
and down
location.
rather than just sitting down.
She's communicating with a cell site in South Miami Beach, that would be consistent with the continuum.
And the continuum was the residence of Harvey and Donna Adelson at the time?
That's correct.
And this would be the day after the birthday party?
Yes.
All right, what did Wendy Adelson do after sending that message?
So this is slide 146. There is a calendar entry, which created an event for July 7th of 2014, which indicates cancel cable and get Apple ID and Netflix instead.
Okay, obviously this is something a lot of people do, right? Cancel cable and end up getting streaming services?
Yes.
All right, but you can stream from anywhere, right? Is that one of the perks of having streaming over cable?
It would be one of the perks, yes.
Cable is typically, especially back in 2014, was maybe confined to a more fixed spot like a home.
Correct.
And this was on July 7th then. So was Wendy Adelson still living at the Upper Ridge Drive in Tallahassee at that time?
Yes.
But by the following month, she had relocated to Miami and was no longer in that home.
Yeah, she just jumped.
That's correct.
Bam,
All right, moving on to July 11th. What do we see on July 11th?
So on July 11th, again, I'm on slide 148. This is an email from Donna Sue, the Donna Harvey Gmail to Wendy Adelson regarding a Best Buy service or service for the television.
And what does it say?
It says, if you can't keep Friday, July 18th between 8 a.m. and noon, call to reschedule. It states we took this, the contract we took out is repair in-house if possible. If not possible, they will take it no charge.
And here, her dad is being referred to in the third person. Contract is under Harvey Adelson with dad's cell phone number.
Yes.
Okay, and it's from Donna Sue at the top.
Correct.
If they need the purchaser, that's my name with my cell phone number, it says. Is that right?
Correct.
And what does Donna Sue say the contract is? Repair in-house if possible. If not possible, they'll take out at no charge. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Did you find any more information about, besides this email from Donna, about this TV repair that was supposed to take place on the morning of July 18th?
It is so far.
Regarding
the Best Buy repair?
I mean, we know that it occurred, that technicians come to her house that morning.
Okay. And was there also emails between or messages about the phone, the TV being in Harvey Adelson's, as it says here, I guess just consistent with this, some Best Buy documents that were consistent with this about the contract being under Harvey Adelson's name that Donna's then communicating to Wendy?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on.
Good, thank you.
To July 14th. Was this the night before the car rental for the killer's July trip to Tallahassee?
Correct.
All right, were Charlie Adelson and Meg Banois together that night?
They were, yes.
Okay, and how do we know?
We have communication. So then again, this is slide 151, a summary of communications between Ms. Meg Banois, Charlie Adelson, Sigfredo Garcia. We see some voice activity and a text between them. And then we also have text messages recovered from Mr. Adelson's iCloud account, kind of go along with these. So we see that there is a phone call from Mr. Adelson at 8:53 p.m. And then we find the text message chat that says, just tried calling you at 8:56.
And do they appear to meet as far as their phone locations are concerned?
Yes. So this continues on. Ms. Banois basically indicates for Mr. Adelson to come down to her location. She lives south of him in South Florida.
You seen me doing it already?
He responds or updates with an ETA of 5 min. And then he again updates his location as he's getting closer. We see here on slide 153 at 9:27 p.m., Mr. Adelson has an event with a cell site consistent with Ms. Banois' residence.
And after leaving the area of Meg Banois' residence that night, does Meg Banois contact Garcia?
She does, yes.
Okay, so what do we see here?
So this would be after Mr. Adelson was in the area of her residence. We see events after midnight, 12:42 a.m. and 1 a.m. that would be consistent with him
you can actually
leaving that area, potentially
the
returning
saying
to
of
his home.
muzzling your dog is not just a
Can you tell me
saying.
about the
Like
communication
you can
after
actually
that?
remove your
I
dog's
can.
voice box.
So what we see July
people's voice
15th
boxes
is the
maybe
rental of the Prius.
remove like
And
drums.
to your point, again,
nothing
I'll
nice
stop
to
here real quick.
say.
This is just
That's
another
why I'm not trying to be
summary
rude,
of
but like,
the
man,
events
if you ain't got
between our
nothing
primary
else to
subjects.
say, practice
And
being
I'll
a mute,
highlight
my
some
guy.
of these as we talk about them. So these are events from the early morning hours of after the morning of the rental vehicle. And yes, we see that Ms. Banois makes a number of outgoing calls to Mr. Garcia between 12:48 a.m. and 1:56 a.m.
And who does Garcia call first thing in the morning?
Well, one of his first calls in the morning is to Comfort Rent a Car.
And that was the same rental car that he used for the June trip to Tallahassee.
That's correct.
Okay. But also the same one where he had to rent the second car, use the same service again.
That's correct.
All right. Now, did he end up calling another rental car company a little later in the day?
Yes, as we again look at the calls throughout the day, we see that at 4:28 p.m., he makes an outgoing call to Save Gas or Hybrid Rental, another rental car agency.
Okay. And were we able to, now throughout that day,
navigating voting regulations can be challenging, but don't worry, we're going to break down how to get your voting license in 4 simple steps. Step number 1, check your state's voter education law. Voter education laws vary from state to state, but typically fall in.
when he's calling Comfort and then calling Hybrid, are he and Luis Rivera in communication?
Or hair, I don't know.
And are
some
he
dogs have hair,
and
some dogs have fur, and I think that's why some people say they're allergic.
All right.
But I'm grateful, I'm
was law
blessed, I don't
enforcement
have to
able
worry
to
about no
find a rental
allergies.
agreement
Man,
from
some
Save
people
Gas?
with allergies. Whoa.
We were, as we look at the rest of
That's why you gotta watch who you have
the call
kids
detail
with.
summary,
You have kids with
we
somebody
see
who has
here at the
allergies,
bottom,
you're
this is
passing
slide
that down to your
160,
kid.
that there is communication at just after 6 p.m. between Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera. And as asked, we were able to locate the rental agreement for Hybrid Rental. And what we see is at 6:15 p.m. is the timeout for this vehicle. We see that they rented the Toyota Prius.
Clean,
okay, and who rented the Prius?
Taken care of.
It's in the name
if you
of
have a
Luis
dog, you need
Rivera.
to take care of it.
Whose
Why do you have a
number
dog?
is
You
listed
should
at the
have to
top
write
under
a
the name
liability
brother?
clause.
Mr. Garcia.
I know people are liable for their dogs if their dogs bite somebody.
And were
But
their
I think
locations
that
also
you have
consistent with
to,
Save Gas?
since you invested
Yes,
in the
if
dog,
we
you have
look
to
at
write,
both
I will make sure
Mr.
my
Garcia
dog
and Mr. Rivera's cell
goes
site
and gets
locations
cleaned, or
are
I clean
consistent
it
with the area
every
of the
month.
Save Gas or
Some
Hybrid
dogs
Rental.
are nasty. Nasty.
All right, right after this car is rented around 6:15, this car that is the car that's going to make this final trip to Tallahassee to kill Dan Markel, are Mag Vanwa and Charlie Adelson playing phone tag around that time?
Yes.
And did they finally talk on the phone about 15 minutes later at around 6:30?
Yes. So again, we're now looking at a call detail summary. This is slide 163 that shows the communication between them, R6, the evening of the 15th. We saw the communication between Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera just prior to the rental car pickup. As you mentioned, there is an attempt between Ms. Magbanua and Charlie Adelson. We see there's a very short duration calls. And then at 6:36 p.m., there is a 10-minute phone call between Charlie Adelson and Catherine Magbanua.
After that call, the 10-minute call with Magbanua, who does Charlie Adelson call within, I guess, about an hour or so after this car is rented and after he talks to Magbanua?
So we can see that starting at 7:30, Charlie Adelson calls the Adelson residence, the Donna and Harvey Adelson residence, for a 22-minute phone call, and then again at 7:54 p.m. for an 11-minute phone call.
Okay, so 22 minutes and then 11 minutes. Charlie Adelson calls the landline that night.
Correct.
Do the phone records show us which parent he may have been talking to on the landline at that time?
We know that there is a phone call from Harvey Adelson's cell phone to the residence later on. So he would have not been at the residence later on in the evening. At this time, there's no indication.
Can you walk us through that?
I can. So this is 8:06 p.m. We see the call from Harvey Adelson to the Adelson residence, about a 12-minute phone call.
Okay, and that would have been, is that about the last phone call from Charlie Adelson to the Adelson residence was at 7:54 p.m.?
Correct.
And they talked for
I was
11
thinking
minutes?
slouch beanie.
Correct.
It doesn't look like it's
So
gonna
at
be a
that
slouch
point,
beanie.
it's gonna be about, is that 8:05 when they get off the phone?
Approximately, yes.
It's gonna be a regular beanie.
And then who calls the Adelson residence at 8:06?
Harvey Adelson.
Okay, so it was 1 minute later that he called the Adelson residence.
Correct.
So would that be consistent with Charlie Adelson talking to Donna Adelson at the residence, since Harvey Adelson wouldn't be calling himself at the Adelson residence 1 minute later?
Could be, yes.
Earlier, we talked about how rare it is that Charlie Adelson calls his parents' landline. He only calls 28 times total in the, I think it was around 15 months in your time span around the time of this murder. So we saw during the June car rental, there was one call to the landline. Is that right?
Yes.
And for this car rental, there's 2 calls right
I'm
after
really
the
excited
landline.
to
Is
see
that right?
this beanie. I
Correct.
haven't made a beanie in a
2
long
calls to the
time, even
landline
though my
right after
business
the
is
car
called
rental. Is that
Beanie
right?
Bond.
Yes.
Thank you. So 3 total of those 28 were right after these cars were
Because
rented.
now I feel
Yes.
the urge.
Next, where did Garcia go after the car was rented?
Well, you have your 4th call to the residence
Thank you.
at 8:20 p.m.
Okay.
Again, Charlie Adelson calling the residence for a 10-minute phone call.
All right, so 4 total of the 28 then,
Correct.
around the time of the car rentals. All right,
Hey,
what do we
I
have
really
next?
appreciate that one person who's still on.
So on the 15th,
My ride.
continuing,
My ride.
we see that there is a
When I'm a
number of
zillionaire, I'ma
communications.
break
This
you off a
again
piece
is
of
after
that
the time of the
cake.
rental car. There's a number of communications or
Okay,
attempts
I
between Ms.
appreciate you a
Magnano
lot.
and Mr. Garcia. Those continue through the evening and they end about 9:30
Bam, that
p.m.
chicken from Popeyes.
This is slide
You know,
172.
I've never
If we
had
look at the
Popeyes.
locations, slide 173, again, all of
I just
those
feel that
attempts to reach each
love
other
that chicken
ended
from
at 9:30.
Popeyes.
And we can see that beginning at 9:30, Mr. Garcia's cell site locations will be consistent with
If
the
there
area
was
Ms. Magnano's residence.
Did Garcia and Rivera's phones appear to leave the
certificate or an
Miami area
award
then
for
the
not eating
following
fast food?
day, July 16th of
I've
2014?
eaten Wendy's.
Yes.
I've eaten
And
Taco
I'll
Bell.
point
These
out
are
also
all
on
like
the slide,
in high school.
in addition to the cell site locations,
Wendy's,
we
Taco
did have
Bell.
GPS location for the rental vehicle, which we can also see here on the map by the blue square icon.
I think those are the only
that
2
the rental
fast food
vehicle,
I've
in
had in
addition
my
to
life.
Mr. Garcia's cell sites, that the rental vehicle location will be
No, maybe
consistent
I
with
think
Magnano's
my-
residence as well.
So just like we
When
saw
I
on the
used to
June
eat
trip,
meat,
the cell
my
sites
little-
that we're getting from the cell
I think I
records
had
are lining
a
up
chicken
and are
sandwich.
consistent with the
not
Spirion
chicken,
GPS records
sorry,
from these
fish
rental cars.
sandwich.
Correct.
Okay. Can you walk us
Popeyes.
through the
chicken. I
travel
don't know.
of the cell
I
phones
literally
on
don't
July 16th?
Yes, so we
remember
see
if I've
again,
ever had Popeyes, and if I
slide
did, it was probably
175
only
here.
one time
We
that
have cell
somebody
site
had gifted me
locations
something
for this
and I
trip
had
for
said,
both Mr.
okay.
Garcia and Mr. Rivera.
But I don't
And we can
fast
see
food.
that they're consistent with leaving the South Florida area
I stopped
the
eating
early
fast food at
afternoon of July 16th. And as we see
I
through
stopped,
both of their cell
like
site
Taco
usages,
Bell and
as we continue kind of up
Wendy's.
through this map, we can see they reach the Tallahassee
I
area
used to eat in middle
in
school
the early
a
morning
lot,
hours of the 17th.
On the
called
17th,
Junior.
are they ever
Because there's
consistent
something at
with
the
being
at the
near
library
the
where if
Martell
you, when you
residence on
read
Trescott
a
Drive?
book, you would get some
Yes,
of
we do
the
see here
sandwich.
that
Cute
both Mr.
outfit.
Garcia and Mr. Rivera have cell site
She
and
looks like a
sector
fairy.
usage that will be consistent with Mr. Markel's residence. And this is on July 17th in the late morning to early afternoon hours.
Okay, and that cell site, is that right near Winthrop Park where we saw them in the last, for the June trip?
That's correct.
Just a second.
I'm gonna have to make a list of all the fast food that I've eaten. I think it's only been 3 places. Oh, the bucket guy, the bucket guy, the box guy, the clown in the box guy.
I wanted to ask you
Clown
one
in
more
the
thing about
box
the June
guy.
trip.
Box
Law
in the
enforcement
Jack's
didn't
in the
know
box.
about this
Jack's in
June
the
trip
box.
before
Yeah, I had that
Louis
when I was in
Rivera
middle school.
informed them.
Middle
There
school
was
is
actually
when
another trip to
it had the
Tallahassee.
most
Is that right?
fast food.
That's correct.
Dairy Queen. I had that Dairy Queen too. Dairy Queen.
Did law enforcement know about the June trip before Louis
in high
Rivera's
school,
statement?
Not that I'm aware
yeah,
of.
I could only probably
And so
say like,
once we found out about
yeah,
the June
Taco
trip,
Bell was a
were we
huge
able to
one,
get
'cause I love those
Rivera's
bean
records?
burritos.
And Rivera had records
and I
that
got
showed his
older and I
locations for
got
both
wiser
June and
and I
July.
stopped.
That's correct.
But Garcia's records had locations for July because it had been so long since
been on here
this
for an
trip,
hour
they
and
didn't have
28
locations for June anymore. Is that correct?
It wasn't the delay in getting the
48.
records, it was the transition of the companies that those records were unfortunately not available to us.
Thank you. Okay, so We just talked about their locations were consistent with being near Markel's home on July 17th. Are you able to show us the communication on the call detail records between all the co-conspirators on the 16th and 17th during this trip to Tallahassee?
Yes. So again, should be slide 179. We are looking at another summary of the communications between the subjects, and this spans July 16th in the morning through the early morning hours of July 18th.
This vodka commercial about freaking robots is disgusting.
And we have the same pattern here where McBan was the only one contacting Garcia and Rivera, and Charlie is the only Adelson talking to McBanoa?
That's correct. If we go back to kind of the tally of communications, again, we can see the highest number of communications between Charlie Adelson and Catherine McBanoa, between McBanoa and Garcia, and then as the others, as the others have communications as well.
Okay. And these communications, they also cover attempted communications. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And some of these communications may be text, some may be calls, some may be mundane. Some of these people have relationships anyway. We're just showing all the communications or attempted communications that did take place.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So I want to focus on the night before Dan Markel's murder, late that night. Using a timeline, can you walk us through the communication that evening on July 17th, going into the early morning hours of July 18th?
Yes. So again, kind of same format here. We see, this is slide 185, we see calls between Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson at 10:18 and 10:29, both of them for just over 4 minutes.
Okay, and what's next?
We see at about 11:40, there is communication between Mr. Garcia and Ms. McBanoa.
Okay, and what happens after that?
Additional communications between Catherine and Sigfredo, and then Charlie calls Catherine just after midnight.
Okay, and is there any more after that?
There is, we see that Ms. McBanoa calls Charlie again at 12:34 a.m. for a short duration call. And then Charlie calls her back at 1:03 a.m.
Okay. And the Charlie calls Donna at 1:02 a.m. Was there no duration on that?
No duration on that.
Okay.
Why is Donna,
all right,
a lady
so
in her 60s,
then moving on to
answering
later
the phone
that morning, which is going to be the morning of July 18th when Dan Markel was murdered.
Calling her at 1
what can
o'clock
you
in the
tell
morning?
us
That's
about
like
all
ridiculous.
the co-conspirators' communication that morning
As I get older, I'm going to bed earlier
and
not picking up the phone.
So again, another call detail summary between those subjects.
Because I'm about to be done
Here,
soon.
slide 192.
I like it. Kind of looks like a little waffle stitch.
The shooting of Mr. Markel
what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this yellow to it.
And in combination with the iCloud return with text message content and the forensic examination of Wendy Adelson's phone, the communication records from the carriers, we kind of have a more complete idea of the communications between these persons the morning of the 18th.
Okay, and the yellow line there shows out what time in the call detail records the homicide occurred?
Yes.
Can you walk us through all the cell phone evidence that morning?
So again, just looking at the communications between our primary subjects.
Okay.
Wendy had the calendar event that for 8 a.m. for fixed TV.
And I want to ask you about that. Did she often have calendar events in her phone?
No,
she did, yes.
And she would often delete those events?
Correct.
All right. When was this calendar event deleted?
I do not know.
Okay. Was it when she was with law enforcement the afternoon of July 18th? Did they take her phone and run a Cellbrite report on it?
Yes, so this extraction occurred on the late evening hours of July 18th.
Okay. And in the Cellbrite, it would have shown that the calendar event was deleted. Is that right?
Correct.
So would she have had to have deleted it before her cell phone was Cellbrited that evening?
Yes.
Okay. So sometime between 8 a.m. when the event is on her phone and that evening it was deleted.
It could have been deleted before that date.
Okay. All right. So first call to Donna Adelson and Wendy Adelson. Can you show that to us?
Yes. So again, we see at 8:09 a.m. there's a call from Wendy to Donna.
Okay. Let me ask you one thing from the night before. Was it unusual for Charlie Adelson and Donna Adelson to communicate or attempt to communicate at 1 a.m. that late?
I've really been thinking about going back to school.
Communicate over a pretty broad range of time. I think it was pretty clear that event was a misdial that he immediately corrected and called Ms. McMahon. That's why there was no duration to it.
Anglo-Saxon.
Okay, thank you. All right, so moving on to that morning, we saw the calendar event, and then does Donna place the first call that morning between the co-conspirators to Wendy?
Wendy calls Donna. Let's back up. So yes, Wendy actually calls Donna at 8:09.
Okay. And what's next?
Donna attempts back at about the same time frame. Little phone tag maybe. And then we see a text message from Donna to Wendy again about the Best Buy service.
And she says, they're on their way over now to help with the TV sets in your living room.
Correct.
All right, what's next?
Wendy has a text to Charlie stating this is so sweet.
And that was deleted?
Correct.
And would that have had to have been deleted then before the Cellbrite that afternoon, sometime between when it was received at 8:20 and the Cellbrite that afternoon?
Correct.
All right.
These people are going
what's next?
down.
Wendy receives a voicemail from Dan Markel.
Okay, and do you have that voicemail where you could play it for us?
I believe so.
Okay, let me hear that, please.
Hey, Wendy, good morning. 9 o'clock on Friday. Just wanted to bring out something to get the boys up. Let's do this afternoon and get that happened at experience around 4:30 or 5. So, you have to still at the house. So, you know, that is okay with you. And also want to chat to you about that situation for school. And so things about all that. I'm going to be at the gym probably between 9:15 and 10:30. But I can chat.
What time was that voicemail left for Wendy Adelson?
9:04 a.m.
Okay, what happens after that?
So Charlie calls Wendy or attempts to call Wendy at 9:12.
And that's 29 seconds?
Correct.
Okay, what's next?
Wendy texts Dan Markel stating the repairman at my house now. I am picking up the boys at 3 p.m. So your swim idea is a no-go today.
So do we know exactly what time she listened to that?
I can't wait till Wendy goes down. She's
9:04 was the voicemail.
Do we know exactly what time she listened to that 9:04
You can just
voicemail?
feel her.
We do not.
But it seems
Summer,
she would have listened to it before
summertime.
this text at 9:12.
And then I'm gonna
She does seem to
upload it
acknowledge
later.
the content of the voicemail in this text message reply.
So she heard it sometime between
But
9
I
and 4
gotta
and
add
9:12.
more because my
Correct.
goal is
Okay.
to make it come
Now-
up to here. Here.
In that message, he mentions he's going to the gym, right? At
He did.
9:15. But
Almost taking me
from the
2
surveillance
hours to do
videos
this.
that we have,
So
by
when
the
people
time he
say,
got to the gym
I
at
can buy it
9:15, were the
elsewhere,
killers
okay?
already
You'll
tailing
suck
him?
your mother with that
Appear to
too.
be so, yes.
Go ask your mother to
And
do
are you
it too.
familiar with Luis Rivera's statement that they had been
A
tailing him all
machine can
morning,
go fast, but a
followed
machine
him from
don't
his
put no
house
energy into
to the
anything.
preschool that morning?
It just knows
Correct.
how to code.
All right, so can you walk us through these messages starting at 9:12 a.m. that Wendy Adelson has with Dan Markell?
Yes, so again, she indicated that the swim idea was a no-go. Mr. Markell responds about his day ending at 4:30.
Meaning that he gets to keep the boys under the schedule until 4:30.
Correct.
Okay.
As again, in this message, he says, under our schedule. And he continues, and you had them until 5 last week. This is at 9:13 a.m.
Okay.
Wendy Adelson responds, because you needed to food shop. This is at 9:15. Mr. Markell replies, you weren't making them available until 5.
And at this point, he's already in the Premier parking lot around that time.
Would be correct, yes.
Okay.
Wendy responds, if it was 4:30 last Friday, you should have told me that.
She's so annoying.
Why tell me
I
now?
can't wait till she goes to jail because
This is at 9:19.
Crying.
And also at 9:19, Wendy receives a call from Charlie. Lasts a little over 18 minutes.
When you hire a prostitute, your husband, you should go to jail.
Dan Markell's already at the gym at 9:19, right?
Yes.
And the killers have already followed him to the gym at that point, right?
Correct.
Bye-bye, Adelson. Bye-bye, Adelson. Bye. Mom, when you commit a crime.
At this point, Wendy and Charlie had an 18 and 17-second phone
when you
conversation.
Take a life,
an 18-minute and 17 seconds.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe a tongue.
After this phone conversation.
Some people have to.
After the phone call started, Wendy would have received the incoming text because I was being nice. And then about the time that phone call would have ended, Wendy texts Dan back.
And does she say, nice was fun while it lasted. See you at 4:30 at my house then?
Correct.
So after this 18-minute phone call with Charlie Adelson, does she seemingly change her stance in the argument? She kind of concedes the argument and agrees with what Dan Markell is asking. He can keep the boys until 4:30.
The wind is blowing my
Correct.
And then within about an hour of this message was Dan Markell killed.
He was shot, yes.
Shot, thank you. Walk us through what happens next.
So there are additional communications. Charlie attempts to call Donna at 9:38.
Donna's just sitting
Charlie
there
attempts
going,
to call Catherine at 9:57.
They figured me out. They figured my old ass
Return
out, and
attempts
I'm
just
gonna rot
after.
in jail. Girl,
And
you
then
better.
Charlie and Catherine talk for almost 7 minutes at 9:58.
Okay.
Charlie calls Wendy 10:06, short duration. Catherine attempts Charlie again, 10:07, 10:08. The return call at 10:09 for about 6 minutes.
Summer.
And that's the last of the communications prior to the shooting.
Okay, is Charlie also that morning playing phone tag with the attorney representing him in the divorce, Stephen Webster?
Dan Markell is.
I'm sorry, Dan Markell, thank you. And did Dan Markell have communication where he's playing phone tag with Stephen Webster?
Yes, this is slide 220, and we see from Mr. Markell's records several incoming, outgoing text or voice attempts with Stephen Webster.
And are they basically setting up a time to talk later in the morning?
Your Honor, that's not evidence, possible stipulation.
Saying as the trial is not evidence that she can lay a foundation for this.
That look like
Have you
dog
reviewed the
fur.
text in these call detail records?
Briefly.
Did it appear that they were setting up a time to talk later that day?
Goddamn dogs that are down here
Okay.
just burning away and blowing their
Communication
fur.
from Dan Markell,
And me
10:34 a.m.
tasting it. Yuck. Yuck.
And Dan Markell would have been killed within a few minutes of sending that outgoing message.
Correct.
Wait.
Dan Markell, 10:34 a.m.
Yes.
And Dan Markell would have been killed within
Rewind that.
later.
I didn't really properly hear that.
And are they basically setting up a time to talk later in the morning?
Your Honor, that's not evidence, possible stipulation.
Saying as the trial is not evidence that she can lay a foundation for this student.
Have you reviewed the text in these call detail records?
Briefly.
Did it appear that they were setting up a time to talk later that day?
Yes.
Okay, is the last outgoing communication from Dan Markell.
I like how Georgia
10:34
just
a.m.
switches the way she asked the
Yes.
question, you know what I mean?
And Dan
Just be
Markell
like,
would have
okay,
been
whatever.
killed within a few minutes of sending that outgoing message.
Correct.
All right, I want to shift now to the cell phone locations in this case. You walked us through at the beginning of your
One thing that I
presentation
love about
yesterday,
crocheting
Dan
outside
Markell's
is
locations on the
I
morning
get
of
to
the
see
murder.
all the beautiful people passing
Trescott
by, all the different
Preschool
styles
Gym.
and stuff.
What can you tell us about Rivera and Garcia's locations that morning?
So again, as you mentioned, slide 222 here, we see the locations that he was.
I'm getting
we
more and
know
more
of his
excited.
approximate arrival, the arrival of the Prius into Premier Health and Fitness just after 9 a.m. And what we see now up to slide 224,
So
these are
got
the
that
cell
much
site
left.
locations for Mr. Garcia and Mr. Rivera.
then I'm just gonna-
Again, Mr. Garcia is in orange, Rivera in blue. And these are the first events with location. We have the morning of the 18th, July 18th, and we see that Mr. Rivera and Mr. Garcia's location are both consistent with them being in the area of Premier Health and Fitness.
Okay, what was the last event with location data that we have for them while consistent with Premier Gym?
It's going to be these that you see here. So 9:58 for Mr. Garcia,
Touching it up.
9:46 for Mr. Rivera.
When was their next
You know
event
what?
with
To touch it
location
up because
after
I love
these events?
It was afternoon.
to
Okay, can you walk us through that?
make it a
Again,
little
we
bit
see
different.
again Mr. Markell's vehicle leaving the Premier Health and Fitness,
We're gonna
10:38.
drop off.
The Prius traveling just after.
Get my scissors.
Perhaps the
My
best way to
scissors. I'm
tell
about
you
to make the
about
pom pom
who
too.
lives here
Really
would be
excited
me.
about that.
Brought here lovingly back in '93, and since then,
Am I touching
I
it?
have
Okay,
seen
that's
their
fine.
eyes light up on Diwali and the 4th of
On the
July.
valley.
From the
On
paella
the
to
valley.
the
From the
And
fire.
then we see the location information
There you
here.
Here's my scissors.
This is slide 227. And again, just looking at the cell site locations, Mr. Garcia's in orange, Rivera's in blue.
Oh,
We
thankful
see
it
that those
wasn't a
events we
dog
just
hair in
saw
my
at
mouth.
Premier
It
Health and
was
Fitness are at the top.
the
And the
fibers
next
of
event we
these.
have,
I feel
you see,
so
is the
much
12:30 event for
better.
Mr. Garcia, where they
'Cause
appear to be on
yuck, ew.
75 traveling southbound.
So from
This is gonna be part of a
Tallahassee
pom-pom.
to around the
Now,
Gainesville
mind you,
area,
I've never
there were
made
no
a
events
pom
with
pom
location.
before.
Correct.
Could that be
With
consistent with them
my,
turning their phones off after they left Premier Gym?
It could, yes.
Never made a pom pom
Sometimes
by itself like that before.
when
so.
people commit crimes, do they
It's
try
gonna
to
be great.
turn their phones off during that time?
Objection, Your Honor. Also speculation.
Sustained unless you can lay a foundation for this particular point, Mr.
I'll make an objection. All right, so let's start at 12:30. Who was the call to 12:32?
So this is a summary of Mr. Garcia's records for the morning of the 18th. And what we see is his first outgoing call, which happens to be that same event we have with location at 12:30, was to Miss Magbanua.
Summer, summer,
Even though the call
summertime.
appears to be a short
Okay.
duration, is
Almost
there any evidence that it went to voicemail or Magbanua did not answer the call?
There's no evidence it was not received.
Okay.
What do the phone records indicate about the
So I have
status
a little
of
tail
Garcia's
left,
phone
and I'm gonna
from the
continue with
last
this
event
color
at
to do
Premier
it
to the
one
time
as
he called
a
Catherine
not with.
Magbanua?
I'm not gonna wrap the yarn around and then put
Well,
it in
we
the
do
hole. I'm just gonna
see
put it in the hole,
at
wrap the yarn around,
12:18
and pull
and
it.
12:19,
But I'm the way to
we
hide
see
this is I'm
two
going
incoming
to.
calls that
Yeah,
do not
I'm
create
just gonna do it.
locations, which means
Like this.
they did not actually
I take
reach the
the yarn
handset. The handset
that
was
I
not in
want to hide
communication
and
with
I
the
go
network.
over it,
So
and
we
then I
know,
just
at least for those
hold.
times, that the
I
handset
will
was
do
not,
videos where
again,
I
in
am
communication
like
with the
literally I
network.
have
Power down,
my.
battery dead.
I'm gonna call it my
However,
diary.
and then we also see
where my
these
crochet,
short
my
codes, this
dictionary
122 and
diaries,
129,
where I will be
that
showing people
are
how
coming
to do
into the
certain
phone
things,
at
like
12:29.
how to make
And
a
these are
circle
consistent with
not go down, or
notifications
why does it go down,
to
why
the
does it go
handset
up, and everything
about
like that.
missed calls or voicemails or other things. So those events would
gosh, that
be
girl's butt
consistent with
cheeks
that
are
phone being
plump.
powered back on or returning to the network at about that 12:29 timeframe.
Okay. And once it comes back on at 12:29, the first call is to Magvanwa?
Correct.
Switching gears here, I want to talk about Wendy Adelson's locations during that morning and early afternoon time frame when Dan Markel was murdered. Are you familiar with Wendy Adelson's statement about her locations on the day of Dan Markel's murder and the route that she took on July 18th after her TV repair appointment?
Yes.
Get it through there.
Okay, can you walk us through that?
Be able to pull through, and then where's the tail?
Again, we see her residence here at the time, the Aqua Ridge Way. This is slide 230. Again, just the flag there indicates the area of her residence.
So Aqua Ridge kind of off Centerville Road, north of I-10?
Yes.
All right. Based on the location info from her call detail records, can you determine the approximate time she encountered the roadblock on Trescott Drive?
I can, yes. So we also have a receipt from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits that is time-stamped at 12:49 p.m. on the 18th. So looking at communication records with location, we see that she begins a voice call at 12:31 p.m. Her cell site is listed as the purple dot and starts at 12:31. We can see, this is slide 232. As we come down to about the middle here, she has an event at 12, or communication during this phone call with a cell site at 12:35, and then that call ends at 12:47. So we see again that will be consistent with her leaving the area of her residence sometime around the 12:31 time frame. And
I don't understand. How can you want to hurt people and
this
still
12:47 cell site
hang around
could be
people?
the ABC liquors as well. We know the receipt time is just a couple of minutes later. So with that, and to slide 233, with that receipt being at 12:49, the voice call ending at 12:47, she would have passed by Premier
so many beautiful people.
Mr. Markel's residence just prior to that.
So many beautiful people.
Okay, meaning maybe somewhere around 12:35 to 12:45.
That guy walks on his...
Did Dan Markel have he and Wendy Adelson's children the morning of July 18th?
His heel never touches the ground.
Did Dan Markel have the children the morning of July 18th and he took them to school that morning?
He did, yes.
Okay. Looking at Wendy Adelson's call detail records, were you able to see her calls, who they were from and to, and the times on July 18th of 2014?
Yes. So slide 234, a summary of her calls that morning. And we can see in the highlighted sections here calls that would have been made or received after the time that she would have passed by the Markel residence.
When she encountered that roadblock, the crime scene tape with the police cars behind it in front of the Markel residence, did she attempt to call Dan Markel to make sure he or the kids were okay?
Don't you fall down.
Did she attempt to call the children's daycare, creative preschool, to make sure that they made it to school and there wasn't some type of incident?
She did not.
Did she attempt to call 911 or law enforcement to see what was going on, since her children had been staying on that street?
She did not.
Did she just continue to the liquor store and then on to lunch?
Correct.
Are you familiar with the area of Thomasville Road and I-10 where the restaurant Mosaic used to be, which was the restaurant she went to lunch at that day?
I am.
Were there any liquor stores in that area back in July 2014?
There were, yes.
And I'm not talking about beautiful outside.
Can you
I'm talking
walk
about beautiful when
Thank
they
you.
smile.
So what we see, slide 237, again, we are showing the residence, her residence at the time on Aqua Ridge, and her ultimate destination, which was Mosaic off of Thomasville Road. So clearly the next slide here shows, as calculated by the mapping software, the most direct route between those two locations as far as where she was headed.
And then were there any liquor stores in the area of Mosaic at that time?
There were, so at that time there was Publix Liquors on Thomasville Road there, very close to Mosaic. There was Market Square Liquors, off Thomasville, and also another ABC location a little further north on Thomasville Road.
Would those Publix and Market Square liquors be a lot closer to Aqua Ridge and Mosaic than the one she ultimately went to?
They would, and this is slide 242, which shows the route she ended up taking versus what is calculated as the most efficient route. We can see there's a difference.
The world's most capable dam just got better. Meet Binder AI agents, customizable agents that put the power of Binder AI at your fingertips. Start with the agent platform where you can create your own AI agents based on your specific business needs.
About 9 minutes longer to go the other way.
So she went 9 minutes out of the way to go to the ABC liquors next to Dan Markel's home.
Correct.
I don't know why she didn't just say, like, you know what? Like, for me,
All right.
I like to go to specific stores that I know the people at
July
and stuff
18th.
like that.
The last slide that we saw of Garcia and Rivera's locations was around the Gainesville area when phones were powered back on, and the 12:30 call was made by Garcia to Catherine McVanois. Does the next map show Garcia and Rivera continuing to come back down to the Miami area?
Now,
Yes, we do see
this
here.
is something I'm going to do. I've done it before, I think, but I haven't
as
done it on
another
purpose.
large
So this time we're
time
gonna
frame
definitely. How do we get
without
rid of this
location
little tail right here?
but we
Because
see
we
in
like to
the
sell our
late
stuff, and we don't want people to
early
be like,
evening hours,
and it's not
the
like
use of the
this,
phones
you know?
returns,
So I'm
and we
gonna
see
take
that
the
they
yarn and I'm
are
gonna split it,
getting into the South Florida area.
and I'm gonna take the
Okay,
yarn
once
right
back
here.
in Miami,
I'm gonna
did
go in
they
like this.
stop somewhere where they were caught on video?
Yes,
gonna
so
just
we have
knock.
an ATM withdrawal from Mr. Rivera. We can see that that occurred at 6:46 p.m. And through the records, we were able to determine the location of that specific ATM where that transaction occurred in Pembroke Pine.
Okay.
So slide 247 shows the location of the ATM by the yellow flag in the middle. The, again, blue and orange circles represent the cell sites their handsets were using at the time, and we can see that their locations are consistent with the area of that ATM around the time of that transaction.
All right. Moving on to July 18th. Okay, thank you.
So from that ATM, there were also surveillance images obtained of Mr. Rivera driving, Mr. Garcia in the passenger seat, and again of the green Prius.
And then after that was Garcia in communication with Catherine McVanois that evening.
Yes.
Was McVanois also in communication with her friend Yendra Mascaro that evening?
Yes,
Let's
so
look at
here
all the
again,
games.
slide 250 is the summary of the communications.
This hat
at
looks
that
better than me, guys.
afternoon and evening.
Looks so good right
And
now.
we can highlight here several communications between Ms.
And then you just
Bagbanua
take it
and Mr. Garcia.
fold it
And in addition to those,
so.
we do see communications
But
between
I'm gonna
Ms.
add
Bagbanua
a puff
and Ms.
to it
Mascaro.
because I just
And
think
was
it
there
super
evidence
cute,
that
a puff like that.
McVanois
So
went to
the hat
Rivera's
is
house to
done.
meet up with
It only
Garcia
took
on
2
the night of July
hours.
18th?
There was, as we see
But I'd say
again,
minus, like,
Ms.
you know,
Bagbanua's cell sites represented
minus-
here in red.
it'll
She
be
has
2 hours
events
because
up to 8:46 that are
I
consistent
did
with the
do
area
some, like,
of
you
her
know,
residence. And we can see
took
as
some
we move
breaks,
across
drank
the
my
slide
drink.
here, 253, events at
And
9:20
I
and
have, 3 minutes
9:23,
until
and
it's 2
ultimately
hours on the live,
9:42.
but
That will be consistent with
I
her
give myself
traveling
an extra
away
10
from the
minutes
area of her
because I
residence
was digging
and toward
around.
the area of Mr. Rivera's residence.
Say, now time
And
to
are
make
you
the
familiar with
pom-pom.
McVanoi's statement that
Get
she
your
dropped
yarn.
her kids off
Get your
at
yarn.
Yendra
This is
Mascaro's
based on what my
residence for
brain
the
feels
night
like.
that night?
That's what it can do.
On the
So
night of July 18th?
Yes,
And whose residence is on the
I'm
way to
going to
Rivera's?
Ms.
leave a
Mascaro's.
little tail hanging like this because I'm gonna need to knot.
And is McVanois then
Gonna go
at
around
Rivera's
my
residence
hand.
by around 9:42 p.m.?
I'm sorry, you have a question.
Your Honor, there's a question from the jury.
You better.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take it to the restaurant.
I'm gonna have it loose. Look at Donna. She's a sad, frail old little woman. And she looks exactly like somebody I know. I'm gonna have to make it really loose because I want this pom-pom to be frilling out, you know. I'm not playing around.
Everyone can be seated. I believe to accommodate the issue that we discussed previously at sidebar about scheduling, we need to stop this morning at 11:30, but once the jurors come back out, we'll at least get another hour of testimony in. If the defendant needs to use the restroom, bailiffs, please take her at this time. Thank you.
Summer, summer, summertime. My brain says if I do it loose, then that just
Taking a little break.
Stop moving, bro.
Okay.
Listen,
All
me
I
and this
have
yarn
to
are gonna
say
get
about
into
all
it.
of that is, wow. The information with regard to the Wendy's change of the TV service a couple of weeks before the murder to a streaming service. The name of Adelson of the boys on Donna's e-invite to the birthday party weeks before the murder. The information with regard to
I hope this comes out beautiful. My brain is like, if it
Kate
doesn't come out beautiful, I'm gonna be really
Fredo to
sad.
pick up the first rental car, and even more significantly, after the ticket, 1 hour after Sigfredo had a car that looked precisely like Jeff's, he gets the ticket and he returns the car to the rental agency and gets a different car rental, which seems to me to be extremely suspicious. Why would you rent one car and 1 hour later return it? The information with regard to the exchange of emails regarding the birthday present between Donna and Charlie, and the new emails here certainly highlight why Donna was saying delete this message, because it was certainly highly suspicious, particularly with Rob's testimony that there was no birthday party, there was no surprise party. All of that really, really incriminating, I think. The use of the landline.
Unruly, why are you doing it like this? That's not a good idea. Take it and my iPad died. That's why you can't even hear the case anymore. Definitely gotta go charge it. Okay, so we are going to primero con ça, spread it apart. So close to this, to being done with the beanie, which I'm really, really excited about. Hey, excuse me? Yeah. There you are, right here. Diplomat right here so you can tie. You don't want anything coming out. That would not be a good thing. That'd be really sad. Yam tam de. I have that song stuck in my head right now. Yam tam bedolo sta tim tim be tim tim bedolo sta tipi tipi kakoda tipi tipi kakoda. Right. Okay. Where's the other one again? Right here. When I'm cutting this. 2 hours and 5 minutes. I don't think I will ever film myself crocheting my full video of me crocheting my hoods, because that takes about 12 to 14 hours. Unless I take a whole day and be like, everybody get your crafts out. Let's craft together. Okay. So here is the puff so far. Oh, blood fire! What did I do? What would you do if your son was at home crying along in the bedroom floor 'cause he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money, and his daddy's gone somewhere smoking crack now in a lockdown. I ain't got a job now. So for you, this is just a good time, but for me, this is what I call life. What would I do? First of all, before I have a baby with anybody, there's a deposit fee. Every freaking month this baby's in me, there is rent. You must pay me rent so that if you decide to leave and become a crackhead, whatever you want to do, the baby is taken care of for at least 9 months. There's at least money in there so I can figure it out. But I ain't having no baby with somebody who could potentially do crack. People say, oh, you don't know. No, I know. I will not open myself to anybody like that. Absolutely not. The potential of men that I look for to even think about having a baby with, which I don't look at, it's not in my horizon at all, but is that, no, you'd rather not have a baby for the rest of my life if that was only the potential out there, that every man out there is gonna not help me to, I'm gonna need this. You're doing it so hard. Okay, so here we go. And then while I do this, I can definitely use it on my other phone, on my phone. What the heck is this? Ew, gross. Unfollow, disgusting. Why do I have that on my phone? Ugh. Crying alone in your bedroom floor 'cause he's hungry. Oh, look at all these beautiful black women with locks. Look. Oh, gorgeous. Beautiful. You can't get that in any other color. You can't get chocolate on any other color, baby. Only chocolate looks good in chocolate. chocolate on chocolate. Save this right there. Post it right there. Send it to myself right there. But bam. Then I post it because I love black women. I'm so happy. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm black. Gracias. Thank you, universe. All praises to Allah. What would you do if your son was that? The cicadas are loud. You know, cicadas only come up every 7 years from the ground. Look at them, up in atoms. What would you do if your son was at home, crying alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is a... What would you do if your son was at home, crying alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money. That's not a thing that you can do these days because these men ain't got no money for you. Oh my gosh, I just went on my YouTube and I can see myself. Okay, let me see. STS Nation. No, I'm just gonna watch. Woo! That's cute. Oh man, people's talent are so beautiful. Okay, let me just go look at some cases, trials. Just some bogus ones I want to watch while I'm... Ew, I cannot order that. Yuck, she's just... Okay, let's listen to some of this. Okay, so... You know, the thing is that as a lefty, life has been a struggle for me when it comes to scissors. And I know this is gonna give me a hard time. No, it's not. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That makes me happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Even though a righty can do this a little bit quicker than me, but as long as I'm not struggling so much to cut, I feel great. I won't get frustrated because I'm working on my patience. I won't get frustrated because I'm working on my patience. You're doing a good job, good job, good job. Keep going. You're doing a great job. You're doing for you. That's what I gotta speak to myself. Yes, yes. Un, deux, trois. There we go. That's like the freaking knife, bro. You know what? I'm going to give this to somebody to sharpen for me. That's what I need. I'm sick and tired of battling. I battle every time with scissors. Every scissor I battle with. I'm not kidding you. Oh, that lady has the best outfit on her. She's wearing the best beautiful sari ever. Sorry to my ex too. To some they play say. To say sorry. Come on, bro. It's a struggle for me. Beep, pom pom. Pom pom. There's pom pom makers, but okay, I gotta cut this part right here. Right here. Oh, gotta cut this one. Okay. Pom pom set. Oh, there's still one right here. You know what? I think I'm gonna use this one as an example. Still have a loop there. Oh, so close. I'm about to get off soon. Right when I finish this beanie, I will get off. I'm gonna use this as an example. So I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm going to take it because, you know, who wants to work really hard? Not me. No, hold on. Where's the one that I wanted to hold? This one right here. There we go. Okay. Now that I have this and I have this, my brain wants to twirl it a little bit, pass it through like this, and pull. Twirl it again, twirl it again. I like threes. So I'm going to twirl, twirl. 1, 2, 3. Pass it through. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Now what I know I'm going to do is I'm going to crochet it inside. Because I want the pom-pom to be stable, and the thing that I always the thing that I found was difficult is that sometimes the pom-pom be like loosey-goosey. the little baby crying? He probably doesn't want to go either. When I have a baby and my baby's crying, best believe we're crying. Yeah, me too. I have to pay bills while you just suck on teeth all day. Go through it like this. There. Through here. Through the gap. There we go. So close, so close. Oh my gosh. I gotta fix that too. Here, right here. I smell white people chili. Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he does. One day, that's the first call to the undercover, right? This is the first call to the undercover on 28 of 16. Yeah.
I love how all her family members, all of Wendy's family members, had so much faith on her, keeping it strong and actually being able to be a good liar. But they all did this for her, and now the brother's serving eternity in jail because, and you know, he's like a little frat boy who likes to play with his little jet skis, and he worked really hard as a periodontist, they say, and everything like that. And so he did all of that for his sister. He didn't even talk to that much, they say. And he's out hella money and he's in jail. And that must suck. Okay, I really don't want to put it on that one because if I put it on that one, it's going to create too much of a bump. And I want to be as flat on the top as I can. Alright, so now we are going to spread it open again, like so. and do our knots like this, because we do not want anything coming out. That's not the goal of this. The goal is to keep this for forever and ever and ever. And I don't want to get any. One more. One more just for goodness sakes. And oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright. Now this one is gonna be alright. Bum bum bum. And oh, look, it's too loose up here. But guess what? We can fix that. We're gonna go inside right here. And we're gonna grab the bases. We're gonna grab this. Told you it's my first time doing a pom-pom, so
She does.
okay. So we got that. But we also gotta make sure this is set over here. So we gotta go right in here.
Just one payment for 12 months of weight loss. Hosted by Adelson. Weight Loss by Hers offers access to affordable clothing and GLP-1. No insurance or in-person visits required. It's just one upfront payment over 12 months of weight loss. Maybe ship to a goal for free. Best part, it's with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy. It's designed by weight loss specialists, lab tested to confirm authenticity, and comes in temperature-controlled packaging with doctor-recommended dosages, customized to your personalized weight loss goals. The process is simple and 100% online. All you have to do is take an assessment below to get started. No wait.
No. This is not happening right now. I need one right here. Actually, I'm gonna get one from right here. Okay. Breathe, breathe. Don't pull too tight. And then the next one you can pull tight. There we go. More satisfied. Okay, now I get to, so right here to right here, I'm gonna split it. Split it. Boom. Split this one too. Boom. I don't like that smell that's going around. It makes me wonder. Hold on. And then Okay. There we go. Much better. Okay. I feel so much better with it.
And shortly after this call, we have what like June agenda, is that right? That's correct. Push in, like 2, please.
2 hours and 31 minutes. I've been doing that pom pom for like 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. Now I go in the inside and cut off all the excess ones. Just give him a little haircut. Bang. Give him a little haircut, they say. Give him a little haircut. Bang. And bang. I could not be a barber because the way I cut. I always get stressed out when I have to cut things because I don't have the best cutting hands.
Next day, April 26, 2016. Call O, please. We're going to Garcia and Diana on here.
That's correct. The last call was 11 o'clock at
All right.
This call is at 9:48 a.m. the next day.
And just like that, the sun is gone and so will I be. Here's the beanie. Thank you for staying and watching it with me for whomever came in and everything like that. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. And just like that. No, this is not for me. I'm not going to try it. What? This is not for my head. It will not fit. I would have to do a way bigger one. They said, yes, try it. I appreciate your enthusiasm, though. And I appreciate you coming here and watching, though. Try it. But yes, okay. This is not for me, but I love it. I might go in and add a little bit more of the orange, right? The yellow. Is this orange or yellow? Yellow? Yellow. Mustardy. On the end. But yeah, I'm really happy. Thank you for being on my live. Thank you for watching me be on here for 2 hours and 30. Next time I'm gonna make a yellow. Thank you. Next time I'm gonna make a slouchy one, like more like a bonnet one for all of this. But thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much. And who knows when I'll be live next? If you want to find out when I'll be live, I usually just post the day of, the hour of, the minute of on my Instagram, which is Beanie Bonnets, which is BENNIE BONNETS on Instagram, and that's where I will let you know when I'm gonna go live. And I have my hoods that I make, but I don't think I will. You too, return to sender. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope I get to see you more often. I remember you are EM, which is like M. Okay? M. All right. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your existence. And keep having the best days of life. Because, yeah, we have a lot of these days. But if you can manage the lows and multiply them and turn them into highs, then life is always going to be great. But thank you. Wow, you're making my heart like... Thank you. I'm going to leave now. Bye. I appreciate you.